So hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you was here 5 minutes ago, you wouldn't be seeing this character talking to you now. You'd be seeing this complete and utter stressed out monster because it's the first time with StreamYard that everything has gone wrong. That's how I was speaking when I was trying to connect. Everything was echoing just like that. But anyway, I'm going to bring into the studio without much introduction to each other, really. And I think I'm going to say his name right. And it's either going to be Kyle or Kale. And he's going to go, no, it's none of them. So here he is. Welcome, this wonderful chap from the BeerBros Reviews. Here he is. Whee!
You got it right the first time. It's Kyle. It's
Kyle. The thing was, I says to Janie, I says, is this Kyle or is it Kale? Because I don't know. I had some like turmoil madness with all my tiredness and too much drinking that I had an A. I've spelt Kyle's name with an A, and I think that comes from Hawaiian origin, Kale, because I asked the Android thing that's called Alexa something. So how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm sound. Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, very well. I feel better now that I can talk to you and like
without the echo.
Oh God, it's like every time we've tried to get together, there's been problems. So, well, mostly because my side, because the internet has just been absolutely smashed and down and crazy. And then, and it's allegedly fixed now. And I've got to get the boys on. Unfortunately, Ryan can't be with me here, can he? So it's just BeerBro.
Yeah. Like I said before, he's got a hectic situation. You know, he just had a newborn, so it's quite difficult for him to get it down. But I'm sure we can do something in the future or whatever. But yeah, unfortunately, as long as you're okay with that, you stuck with me. If that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as your mum. Oh, the echo started again. Right, I'm just going to stay away because I think it was when I moved forward. That's when the problem was. Guess what, right? I've had a real great beer delivery from Rainville Bottle Shop. I'm going to do a different sort of like chat. Are you familiar with them? Over in Leeds.
I've heard of them before. Yeah, I've heard of them before.
Yeah. And the packaging was amazing. I've got some really good German beers from there. And I opened the box with a knife in the top, the second box, and went straight through this can here.
Oh no!
And so I had to swiftly pour it into like the first glass I found, which happened to be this retro glass, and everything's not mirrored like I normally do it. So I'm going left and screwed right. Oh my God, this is just gonna this is just crazy, and I don't even know how to change that right now, but it doesn't matter. So I've had to sort of like have this very low ABV, bright pale ale, which is quite nice.
Cloudwater.
Yeah, very good. What are you starting off with, mate?
Well, I've chosen 4 beers. I don't know if I'll get through them all or whatever, but one of them is probably one of the favourites that I've had for now, and so obviously 2 of them are going to be Polly's because it's us, and I live literally 2 minutes from Polly's, so they're one of my favourites. And then another one of them is from a place in Newcastle. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're called Full Circle Brew.
Oh yeah.
It's a New England IPA called Elevator Music. So beautiful. I was going to crack that one, and then this one's a Verdant one.
Oh, that's going to be class.
This is one of the nicest pale ales that I've ever had. It's really nice, and it's all sold out as well. So I've held 2 cans back, and I've held one back so I could do it tonight because it's such a really nice pale ale. This one I had in the craft beer house near me. And I needed to get it in a can because I wanted to try it again. This one's a Polly's IPA. And then another IPA from Polly's called Every Piece Matters.
Wow.
So what
have we got on the ABV?
This one is 6.7. And it's got Citra and Mosaic hops, the Every Piece Matters. The hue creator is Amarillo and Sabro, and it's 5.9%. The Chromaticity is 5.2%, and it's Idaho 7, Nectaron, and Citra.
I love that.
And then the elevator is Columbus Cryopop, which I've never heard before. Not sure about that one. Citra and Sultana at 6.3%.
That's some
So,
big
like I
beer.
say, I don't know if I'll get through them, but I definitely want to crack a couple while we're on here, Spen. So,
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm going now. I've just sort of like had to forcibly have that. I'm going. My first one, or what should have been my first one, is this. Now, this is only a 4.1% beer, right? So, what I'm just going to do before I talk to you about this, I'm going to go in the settings, and I'm going to see if I can do this mirror and turn the so I'm not going the opposite way, and
oh
I'll be
yeah,
able to
I can't guess where the bloody camera is.
get. Oh, that's better. Look, I'm not doing this. Whoa. So yeah, I'll be able to, I might leave that in anyway. It's all fun. So this was brought to me by my stepson at Christmas, and I'd never heard of Panther Brewery, right? And I'm
No,
sort
me
of like
neither.
I'm sort of like a real ale guy. From back in the day, I'm 50, sort of 4 years old nearly. So you know,
Yeah.
I'm an old boy, but I love all the craft beers, and I love you. Well, you see what I like. But this blew me away because I went round my folks, and my dad said, "Oh, I'll pour that for you." And he came out and he went, "Oh, son, I think there's something wrong with this beer. There's all bits in it." And he obviously doesn't
All the
know about
sediment at the bottom.
and that. And this is an absolute cracking beer, mate. It really is. It's just as a best bitter. And for me, because I've got a big day on tomorrow, so normally I'll be like, steaming things on a Friday night. So I thought best not. Now, I'm using my tap and barrel jug because literally, and we'll speak about how we sort of like met.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm literally in everything that's possibly going wrong with us trying to get together. I have literally got no glasses. They're all ready to be washed up at the house. So
Rejuvenate.
I'll go through whatever glass I can get. So I'm
Right,
probably
well,
going to be eating my words and having a dirty glass. Right, go on then, crack one up on yourself, sir.
well, we'll go with the Verdant one because this is probably one of the nicest ones, and we'll use the BeerBros Teku as well.
Oh, look at that. You see? And this is one of the reasons why I contact you, and we'll go there in a minute. Look at the state of this. This is brilliant. Look at that. I love them glasses. I've got one here.
Oh yes.
You ain't got I ain't got any kind of like decal on it or whatever, but I like them glasses, but they're so delicate, aren't they? They're so
Yeah, yeah, very.
they are so that
Do you
looks
want me to?
absolute.
Do you know how they were made or like the story behind them?
No, tell me, please tell me.
So like obviously the name Teku, it's cheers by the way. The name Teku, so it's Te and Ku. So the first two letters T and E were from basically they originated in Italy. There was like two partners of like brewers in Italy, and I can't remember the exact names, but the TE is from one of the Italian brewers, and KU is from another of the Italian brewers. So they put two of the letters from the names together, and they basically formulated it off. So this bit here is the way it is, so you can like swill the beer, and as your nose is touching it because of the way that the glass is, you can get a really nice smell before you actually taste the beer. So
Yeah.
basically, like two Italian brewers came up with this, and that's how they made it.
Wow, what a fantastic bit of information. Because I know that when I was looking for glasses, because we all, like I say, it's all just a pint glass. I speak to a lot of my mates of my age, and I start like drinking out of what looks like a wine glass, and they're like, What are you doing?" I'm like, "No, it's all about getting the aromas of the beer and
Yes,
all
yeah,
that sort of stuff." And I actually searched for the best glass for tasting beer, and they came up. But to know that how
yes,
they're mate, that's a really interesting bit of information. So,
yeah,
see me, I'm
definitely.
just like a jug light, you know what I mean? So I thought, oh,
Nothing wrong
tonight,
with
but
that.
look at the state of that. That is like, when I was drinking this beer, I was saying to
I
me, my
can't.
dad,
Nothing looks wrong with that to me, mate.
oh, but what I mean is, it looks fantastic when we know that it's got all that sediment in and it's got all
Yeah.
that goodness in and everything. Whereas my dad's going, oh, son, that's really cloudy. You sure that's all right?
Bless him.
So,
Well, as you can see, mate, there's loads of lacing on that glass.
absolutely fantastic. So let's just have a little bit of a storytelling moment. So I'm always like trying to sort of like look out for guys like yourself, and so is Ellen Audio. You know, we all want everybody to be part of this great big community and share the love and all that. And I really loved what you was posting. I was thinking like your decal on your glass, the pictures. I love the way you put like the beer on a table, a glass top or something. You get that reflection and everything you do. I was thinking, whoa, that's bang on. I wish I had that sort of like creativity myself. And
thank you.
But I was like, I was going, oh God, like, and I have actually had people on the YouTube channel, come to me and say, who drinks out of a dirty glass anyway, mate? You know what I mean? And I know nobody does, but when glasses are clean, you now know that glasses that are clean are not beer clean. And I just thought, oh, do I contact them? Because you was getting a lot of nucleation points around the glass, weren't you? You were getting loads of bubbles all around the glass. And where you've poured that out there, that beer looked fantastic. It laces. It's a beautiful colour. You know, it looks amazing. And I was looking at these great pictures with all these bubbles, and I thought, oh, what do I do? I want to be kind and nice, and I want to try and help you. So I reached out to you, didn't I? And I thought, this is going to go two ways. I'm going to have the big V's. I don't swear on the channel, so that's about as much as I've done.
Yeah.
That might change it a bit, or it's going to be received well. Like, I love sort of like positive feedback. My wife will always say to me, feedback's a gift, because we're always learning. So I reached out to you, and you lads were absolutely brilliant. And you came back to me with such positivity.
Yeah.
And so I felt like, I don't know, like just that I could then help, and I could try and help you. And we went through a little process, didn't we? And we, you sent me a video of doing it, and I was sending you videos, and we get my wife to fill me up in the dirty kitchen up there. That's absolutely rank because I'm doing work on it. And eventually I started to see you get your posts get better, and your beers look fantastic, and now winner, you know. So what did you think? What did you think when I first contacted you? Go on, be honest.
Obviously I'll give you like some context. I was at work when the message came through. I think I was on like a break or something like that, and I just saw this, like, this quite big paragraph, and I was like, what's all this about? Because even though we've spoke to people, it's usually just like, whenever we've liked a post, it just comes through with like a thumbs up or whatever. Nobody's ever really got in touch with us like you have. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I was reading through it, and the first things that you said were like, oh, I love what you guys are doing, but you need your glasses to be beer clean. And I just thought, what does beer clean mean? Because like I didn't know. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, what the hell's going on here? But once I read through it all, and you was basically like, listen, the general message was, I'm just trying to help you. And I understood that straight away. And as soon as you said it, I went straight back to the post, and I just saw all these little bubbles. And I just thought, oh, it must be because the beer's a little more carbonated than usual. And then obviously I've flipped through them all, and I've just gone like that. And I've just thought how I felt so embarrassed that I post these pictures that I've got all these bubbles on. And I just thought, right, that needs to be rectified straight away. And in all honesty, I'm so glad that you contacted us, because we would have carried on. We didn't know, like, we don't work at pubs or anything like that, so we don't have dishwashers to clean them. We don't have all these these substances that you can clean them with. So once you told us the method of how to do it, then it was absolutely amazing. And as I said to you, we were just a bit hesitant about putting them in the dishwasher because we didn't want to lose like the print on the glasses or anything like that. So obviously, from being a bit tedious, we're actually shooting ourselves in the foot by having all these nucleations and little bubbles in the glass. And you were right. You were absolutely right. And I don't mind. I just really appreciate that you reached out in such a kind way.
Yeah, and I really appreciate how you sort of like responded to it as well. And then we started like really chatting, and then we got really friendly. And then the next thing I was talking to you about this stuff, weren't I? I've even wrote this down.
Renovate.
Now, the reason I got that was because I don't know whether you've seen, but my very first video was when I got the Nitro Surge cap and with the Nitro Surge kiss. And I was looking for reviews on it and things. And I'd read all the I'm a very instruction reading sort of person. And when I was watching the reviews, I was thinking, well, again, I thought, people they're doing it wrong. They're not reading the instructions wrong. They can. And I thought, oh God, I don't want to say anything negative on the comments on YouTube. It always wants to be sort of kind. Although I did have a little laugh with Simon at Real Ale Craft Beer. I did say to him like, oh mate, you car crashed that, and he doesn't mind anyway, and he don't really know. He probably knows a little bit about me because I'm involved with Rate My Beer as well, and they've just done a collab. But he's like, who's that? Go on, get on. So my daughter said, make a video about it. So I did, and it's been a really big hit. Like, it's been watched, like, I think it's 20 probably 24,000 times now.
You've got a lot of views on that.
But when I go back and I look at it and I drink that drink, there is absolutely no lacing on the glass. So when you sort of say, like, I'm embarrassed about the bubbles, I look back at my best video I've ever done, type of thing, and there's no lacing on the glass. The Guinness don't stick, nothing. But since then, I've learned about beer cleaning method on the glasses, and then I've managed to get that full. It's been a journey, but a full lacing on a pint of Guinness.
Yeah, of course.
And it does. I mean, like, even with this beer, look, you just look. I mean, I wasn't sure whether these glasses had gone through the treatment. I thought, there's the thumbs up. I thought, here's me reaching out to you about it, and then I'm going to be drinking out of dirty glasses. You'll be like, oi!
No, honestly, like I said, I worked in a pub when I was like 16, but I don't retain any information. I'm 32 now. Like, it was 16 years ago. I don't know. And like I said, it was just, all we would do was just give it like a rinse under the hot tap and then cold to, just get rid of anything, and then just leave it on the draining board. And to the naked eye, if you're not looking too close, it actually looks, oh, it seems all right, that. So to us, we weren't identifying that it was going to do that. And all the times that we were getting these little bubbles, I just thought, oh, just the beer's just a bit more carbonated than usual. And obviously, it wasn't until you pointed it out, which I'm forever grateful that you did. And like I say, I am still slightly embarrassed because, if I'd have known then, I could have saved myself from embarrassment. But I'm kind of glad that it happened that way, because obviously you were kind enough to put yourself forward, and then obviously we've got to know each other a little bit. So I'm happy about that, because it's grown into something else.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was really worried because I don't like hurting people's feelings. It's just not in my vocabulary. I like to be kind all the time, and so it was just so good it received. And like I say, with that regenerate powder, I was at a snooker club. I don't play snooker, but I was actually doing a little gig there, and I had a pint of Guinness, and it laced proper down the glass. I says to the guy, how do you get that? He said, you got to regenerate glasses. Well, what do you mean? So he told me how to do it at home in the dishwasher. And you have to go through a laborious dishwasher clean and just don't put any tablets in, and just let the salt do it. And then you throw that over it. And then Steve Gilsonan from Guinness himself, who's the head of global quality control, he does the same method with a salt as well. And I've talked to him about it, and he told me about the regenerate powder in the dishwasher as well. So even with just talking to different people, I wasn't getting it perfect. And especially with the Guinness is the hardest beer in the world to get to lace the glass, because what Guinness wants is a absolutely perfectly dry glass. If you wash that glass pristinely clean and it's got any kind of wetness, it won't stick, and it needs like a good 24 hours of air drying, But and then as well, what I brought here to show you is this. I use this as well. So this is Star. Right, now there's lots of videos on YouTube about this where people are putting their hands in the actual water. Now they use this, I think, in pubs and things where they sanitize all the stuff. They put it in the stainless steel, and they put everything in. This stuff is crazy, mate. This will hurt your hands. I did it with no gloves on. I was like a leper, you know what I mean? My skin peeling off. So with the brushes and things, every now and then you'll find that even when doing the salt clean and that, it ain't you still getting the bubbles, and a quick knock of the glass will get rid of them. But you need to then put all your stuff with that bit of star san in a bucket, and then that like sterilizes it and cleans it, and you start again. Anyway, that's boring now. Let's talk about some those beer clean glasses. I'm coming here to watch you two chat about beer and shit, and you're talking about beer clean glasses. So how's your beer?
Oh, it's phenomenal. When I had this the first time, I think this was it the first Verdant that I'd had? I think it might have been. Because if I just give you, do you mind if I just give you like a bit of backstory on like craft beer journey and stuff like that?
No, go for it, mate.
So I'll say like maybe 6-7 years ago, I was into craft beers and stuff like that. I had a friend who lives in the Netherlands, and he was big into craft beers. So I used to like visit his house, and we'd drink all these different craft beers and stuff like that. And then I sort of just fizzled out of it a little bit, because my grandma passed away, and I just sort of like went dead, downbeat and stuff like that. And instead of going for craft beers, I just bought whatever was cheapest, to just sort of like cope with it a little bit. So I sort of like not fell out of love with it, but it just moved to the side. It wasn't something that I was interested in anymore, basically. So I just carried on like that. And obviously Ryan is my best mate. I've known him for 20 years. He's always been Stella, Peroni, just your stuff that you get everywhere in the pub, supermarket, stuff like that. And I always tried to get him to try, a Brewdog or a Northern Monk or whatever, and he just wouldn't have any of it. He wouldn't go near it. And then it was last year or the year before, me and my fiance went down to the Cotswolds, and we went to the Hawkston Brewery tap room. And I tried the IPA and the Hawkston Lager, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. This is the nicest lager I've ever had. And I was just blown away by like how it tasted. And that just catapulted me onto getting back into like craft beers and stuff like that. And ever since then, I've just been completely on this, how do you call it, like this rejuvenation of getting back into craft beer and stuff like that. So we haven't been on Instagram for a long time at all. We're quite new at it, if you know what I mean. But since I've managed to get Ryan to get us on Instagram, which was like not December time, I tried to get him on YouTube, but he wouldn't have any of it. He's not really a person who likes to be on camera, which is fair enough. Like it's not for everybody. Some people are quite, private or whatever. But I managed to get him to agree to do a Instagram page, because we could just take pictures or do little videos or whatever. And he agreed to it. So obviously we both run it, but and ever since then, in November, I moved to Mold in North Wales, and then that's obviously when I got introduced to Polly's. I'd never even heard of him before. I'm from Manchester myself, so I didn't hear about him. And these guys they're up there with me. They're probably my favourite brewery.
Amazing.
And I don't know anybody else apart from Polly's who. Well, obviously you've got Verdant and stuff like that, but for me, there's just something special about them because they're so close to where I live, and I know a few people down there, and I know how they work and how much they're passionate about beer, and it just comes through when you drink it as well. It's not just about the cans and stuff like that. It's in all the pubs in North Wales. So I know that waffled on a bit there, but that's essentially a small version of like how we got into it.
No. There's nothing that you're speaking to the master of waffling here. So like, no, this is what it's all about. I wanted to like find out about you. You know what I mean? You and Ryan and like your journey, because even though you've only been on Instagram, did you say what, December last year then?
Yeah, all I did was, I think it was like December 28th. I posted a picture of when we went to Hawkston the first time with my fiance. I bought a Hawkston tankard. It was a big, massive tankard, and obviously I bought some beer from there. And I just took a picture of it in front of the Christmas tree, and I just thought, oh, that looks cool. So I posted it. Didn't expect to post anything else. I just thought I'll just post them or whatever. And to be honest, it might have got about 6 likes. And I just thought, well, I'll just keep posting. It doesn't matter. And then I posted. We managed to get a picture with Rick, who's the master brewer at Hawkston. I don't know if you've seen Clarkson's Farm season 2.
No. Oh, do you know what? Oh, now there's a thing as well. I meant to bring the beers. I'd say, here's the thing. I drank them beers and I said I was going to wait because I thought we were going to talk very early on. And I know everybody's been posting like, oh, cheers, boys, for the beers. Cheers for the beers and all that. And I thought, so I could wait for this time to talk to you about them beers. And I said to Janie, I said, where's the, what's it called? Hawks? I can't even think of the name now. Clarkson.
Yeah, Hawkston, yeah.
Pills, weren't it? Where's that bottle?
Where's
that bottle gone? Oh, I've put it in the recycler. I'm not, oh my God, no. And then the can is somewhere ready to go up onto the cabin, but it's been so big apologies. I meant to speak to you about that. But no
worries, mate.
I've heard, but thank you for them. Thank you so much for them. But yeah, I've heard good things about Clarkson's Farm. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I think it was season 2. Basically, there's a brewery in Burton on the Water, which is in the Cotswolds, like Cheltenham, and they were a brewery on their own. They were called Cotswold Brewing Co. They were already established, and then obviously during lockdown, they didn't have the facilities to like bottle beer or anything like that, so they had to like buy all this equipment to keep going or whatever. Then when Clarkson's Farm came out, Clarkson approached him and said, "Listen, if I buy into your brewery, will you brew me a beer using barley off the farm?" So
Wow.
obviously that all went through. They brewed him a beer, and it's on the episode where he tries it and he's saying, "Oh, it's a spa beer" and stuff like that. Anyway, because like of how marketable Jeremy is and how big he is as a celebrity and stuff like that, they basically just came to the conclusion that they would just rebrand it all to Hawkson instead of it being Cotswold Brewery or whatever.
Wow.
So the guy who basically made Cotswold Brewery, who is still there now in some capacity, he was on the Clarkson's Farm series too, and he was explaining about what hops he's using. Jeremy's just like, "Oh yeah, it's a nice beer." He was there, so we went and did a brewery tour, and obviously they take you into the brewing room where they do everything, and he was in there, and I don't know, I don't really have like many people that I sort of look up to, but when it comes to like beer and stuff, when there's somebody who brews really nice beer, I sort of get a bit like starstruck by them, even though they're just normal people, just like you and I. Do you know what I mean? I just because of how, to me, making beer is an art. Like it takes a
Absolutely.
lot of skill, a lot of work. So it's not just something you can pick up after 2 minutes.
No.
And we were in there, and I said to the tour guide, "Listen, if there's any chance I can have a picture of Rick, would you just please ask him if he would mind? If he does mind, that's fine. I'm okay with that." And we were at the bar, just finishing after the thingy or whatever. And he comes back in, and James went over to him and said, "Would you mind taking a picture?" And he was like, "No, of course not, of course not." Comes over, and me and Ryan are there. Like me and Ryan are quite tall, and obviously Rick's only small, so we were both stood above him. But I was so happy, and he just said like, "Oh, thank you for liking the beer and everything." And he was just such a nice guy, and obviously he gave us the time to have a photo with him, and he thanked us for obviously liking his beer. And it was just like a really nice moment because me and Ryan are such big fans of Hawkston. To meet the guy who makes the beer, and he
Yeah.
actually gave us the time to have a photo with him, I was properly gobsmacked. Couldn't believe it.
And that's on Instagram as well. That photo is, isn't it? I can
Yeah,
actually, I can see you two and him in the middle.
yeah,
I could just see. I could
yeah,
visually see it. I weren't 100% sure what was quite going on because I don't. When it come to like Clarkson being involved with the beer, I just thought, oh God, it's just what's this going to be? And I've just heard recently I've heard really good stuff about it. And then
yeah,
when you actually sent me that beer, it took me a while to actually click for where it was from. And that was a very
yeah,
low ABV pilsner as well, weren't it?
yeah.
From
3.8.
yeah, and it was good.
3.8.
It was really good. And I can't even remember if what I entered. You did like a bit of a giveaway, didn't you? I can't even remember. I probably
Yeah.
did it drunk one night. It's
Yeah,
like
probably. I think it was the when we got the triple putty from Verdun.
maybe, yeah.
We got the triple putty, and we was giving away the triple putty. I think that's what it was. And then because
Yeah.
the last giveaway, we only had like a certain amount of winners, and I just want to give more. I want more winners. You know what I mean? Like if I could and I could afford it, I'll give everybody beer. Like that's just the way I am. I'm kind like that. So I just
Yeah.
thought, even though there's already been winners, I'll do like some like runner ups or whatever and give them prizes. And obviously, I think it was Hardy Arms, obviously yourself, the Lioness's Den,
Yeah.
and something else. I can't remember who else it was, but obviously I sent everybody out some beers and stuff.
I have seen all the posts. I mean, I didn't do it because of this, but like I've seen all the posts. Like, oh, cheers, boys, cheers, boys. I thought, wow, all these beers you've been sending out. What a lovely thing to do. You know, it's been absolutely fantastic. But you did right in what you say about when a brewery, and I think I've spoke about it, and when people have criticised me for banging on about beer clean glasses, I've always sort of said when a brewery puts or a brewer, you know, puts that much passion, that much effort, and that much
Yeah,
like it's a science, it's a chemistry, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
um,
1000%.
into making that beer. And what I don't like to see, I don't like to see like when people go, oh, this beer is this, that, and the other, or whatever. It's like if I always think to myself, if I don't like it, I just won't probably bring it to the channel. I will.
Yeah, safe, exactly.
And also I'll be like, because I'm going to bring some sours to the channel. I'm not a
Yeah.
big sour fan, but I've had a couple of Thornbridge showers sours,
So,
and even though I'm drinking them, thinking this isn't my sort of like cup of tea when
yeah,
it comes to beer, I can really appreciate the effort that goes into making this in a sour. And if you're a sour fan, these beers that I'm drinking that I'm not a big fan of because it's
yeah,
not my style.
yeah,
If you
exactly.
like sours, this is going to be good because I think like whereas like most beers are closed in, it was Craig Johnson, like Crafty Craig, who told me this. I thought, how's a
Oh yeah,
sour?
we've got to give a shout out to Craig. He's an absolute
Oh,
belting bloke.
God, he's round here next Friday. We've got him round here. Him and Laura next Friday. He's coming round here. We're going to do the Thornbridge. I can't even think how to say it now. That beer I've been really trying hard to get. And
Hallison, the
yeah,
double dry hop
Hallison.
Hallison.
Yeah. So bless him. Let me just tell you this while we're on this, right? So I met Craig in Everard. So I went to. I mean, we obviously like Instagram followers of Ale and Audio and all things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And I was in Everard's Brewery, and I says to Janie, I says, I'm sure that's Crafty Craig over there. You know, the big beard, and you know
yeah,
he's
yeah.
a man mountain. You know, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go and say hello, but I've got to check it's him. So I went on Instagram quick, and I like zoomed in on the pictures to see his earring, and I thought, hey, it's him. And I was sort of a bit starstruck. It was really weird
Yeah.
because we've got. I mean, I don't know whether you see. We all went over to Hartlepool for Pablo Disco Bar. His birthday, and we all met. So this isn't just like a social media where
No,
we
no,
don't.
no.
We all went and met, and it's absolutely a brilliant community. It's one of the reasons why I'm wearing the t-shirt all now. Just how you do. But anyway, I thought I'm going over, so I just went up behind him and I went, Mr. Johnson, and he said, Speno. It was like this little boy gave me a cuddle. It was like this little boy and this huge man, like, you know, I mean, this mountain of a man. And I tell you what, me and him, we have just it within 10 minutes, I felt like I'd known him my whole life. And so anyway, so I've been really busy at the house, and I've been busy at work. I've been tired, knackered. I've been down here till late because Janie's been ill. So she's on bed. I've come down here because I can't just go to bed. I can't switch off. And
Yeah,
I was working in the garden, got a bit of a pat, looked out, and there's Craig outside, and he's only gone because he knew how hard I was going Asda every night trying to get this beer.
and the shelf was empty, wasn't it?
Yeah. And bless him, he brought me a can of the beer. And I mean,
Awesome.
it's the little things in life that just it almost brought a tear to my eye. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
no, I understand.
And he had the dog. He had the dog in the car and everything. I said, "Just coming in. I've got to have a photo." So anyway, so we've invited him round. Well, he's supposed to have been coming tonight, but he couldn't make tonight. So that's why I thought, oh my God, I can get on to you. So he's coming here next Friday, and we're going to review that beer together.
Awesome.
And then we just
amazing.
Get drunk and have
of course.
But yeah, the guy's a legend, and I don't mind sending him kisses on WhatsApp when I've messaged him.
No.
Anyway, Carl, I'm going to go and grab my next beer. It's in the fridge, and this is a beer that I really love. So here's that beer that we're talking about. I've actually got this coming in the. Yeah, I've actually got this coming in the Thornbridge Beer Club, which is absolutely awesome. I think I've done a bit of a chat about that anyway. But they used to charge you £30 for that, and you get a certain amount of beers. But they've reduced it now to 20 quid plus the postage.
Wow, that's bargain.
So 20 quid, but plus £6.95 postage. But what they do is they say you can add beers to your order, and if you take it to £30, it's free delivery. So you add the beers at discounted price, and you soon get to 30 quid, but you almost feel like you're getting free beer because you're spending the postage, if you know what I mean. And and then you start looking at the price of each beer that's being added because of the discount, and it's a real bargain. So. But anyway, look at this beauty. You had this.
I've never seen that before. Is that legit from Germany?
This is legit from Germany, right? So I'm going to do a separate sort of video about where this come from. But there's a company called Elite Beers UK, and they are the biggest importers of German beer into this country, and they supply the bottle shops and pubs and things like that. And they have to buy it in by like the truckload to bring it to the price.
Oh yeah.
And then I've got this from, I can't really say it, Rainsville store in Leeds. I use local bottle shops and I support them. But this is from, and it's really hard to say, Shankala. It's Shalankala. That's it. I practiced this over and over again when I reviewed it a while ago. And this is why I'm having this one, because I've already reviewed this. So it's not about a beer review, but it's called the Shalankala Brewery, and it is the home of the smoked beer. So years ago, I had a smoked beer, and it was awful. You know, these literally smoked the beer over a real beach fire. And I'm gonna have this in an Everard's. It's in the wrong. It's in the wrong glass. I ain't got the right glass with me. But yeah, mate, this is
get it poured.
Yeah,
I try my utmost best, but obviously there's financial constraints sometimes. But every brewery that I get from, I try my best to get the glass for it, because I have an OCD thing of, if I've got the can or the bottle, I need the glass. But I do have a bit of a wild card. If I don't have the actual brewery glass, I just use the BeerBros. So I've got the Teku and I've got a Craftmaster one. So I sort of got like an ace up my pocket, if you will, if I don't have the actual glass. But I've got every single Polly's glass that they make. I've got the Verdant glass and pretty much every other glass really. But I just like to use this one because obviously it's our brand, so it just does well for us to use our own glass or whatever. But if you're pouring that, I think I'll go with the Hue Creator.
Wow.
It's IPA Amarillo and Sabro 5.9%. I've had this. There's we've only got 2 craft beer pubs in Mold. So one of them's called the Beer Lab, which is only recently opened, and then we've got one called Mold Ale House, which it won an award in like 2022 for like being the best pub in Mold. And the owner of it is called Gareth, and he's just like a proper nice guy. Like, he knows a lot about beer, and it's only a really small place. But obviously, I don't know what your opinion is, but some of the best places are the small places who really know their craft beer, and they get it on rotation all the time, and they don't just have. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. They don't just have your Peroni or your Carlin, which to me is that's just my opinion. It's
macro lager, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, somebody said it to me. Whenever you have like a Heineken or Peroni or any of these generic beers, you sort of get a tiny, tiny scent of, oh, that's got some hops in it. Whereas if you have a real ale or a craft beer, you know that you're drinking all these different hops because they just punch you right in the face, and
Yeah.
they're all different combinations, and you get all these fruit flavors or malt flavors, and it's just that is beer to me. That is real beer, and obviously it's all down to preference. I'm not saying anybody's wrong for liking Peroni or Carling, but
No,
for craft beer enthusiasts, we know what real beer is, and that's what I think real beer is.
and when you're speaking like that, literally, you're talking from my mind. It's like I'd say when I'm tasting the fruit and especially Verdant, I think Verdant Brewery are one of these that can really saturate the hop. They
Yeah,
can really
yeah,
get I mean, you can see the passion in my face.
yeah,
It's like right. So I've been in the building trade all my life, right? And uh, one of the things we don't do when we go, well, I did about 12 years of working for the general public, so going around people's houses and doing jobs for them and things like that. And one of the things you don't do is when they go, "Would you like a tea or coffee?" You don't have a tea because it's like tea bag in, off it goes, right? So as a builder, it's like me. I will make so say in the morning, right? I get up about 5 o'clock, 10 past 5 in the morning. I make my tea, but I don't drink it. It's about 20 to 6 now. So I'll make it probably about 10 past 5, and I don't drink it till about 20 to 6, and that's when I take the tea bag out. Right. So I have saturated that tea bag. So the way I look at it is, you can have, say, Yorkshire tea, right?
yeah,
There is other brands, but like Yorkshire tea, and you can make 2 cups of tea, and you can pop the tea bag in one, pop the tea bag in the other, take that out after 30 seconds, and then take that out after 4 minutes, and that's a crap cup of tea, and that's a great cup of tea, and that's
yeah,
how I look
yeah,
at it with beer. It's like the hops are there to give you absolutely everything that you want out of them hops, but if you don't use them right, then like you're just not getting the quality. And Verdant, they just know how to combine hops
yes,
together. And Polly's do as well, and Cloudwater. Cloudwater's Ideo 7, the single hopped, like hooked on Ideo 7. For me, oh, that beer is awesome.
yes.
Yeah, but getting the fruit flavors out the hops rather than additives or crap. I mean, just waffling on.
No,
All the
no,
guys
it's fine.
at Ellen Audio, they love the Juice Foresight beer. So I
Yeah, oh,
thought,
Brew York, that is an amazing. That's
yeah.
amazing.
And I thought to myself, I'm gonna go and grab it. But if I'm really honest, I thought it's really good, but it's just too fruity for me. And I thought
Yeah,
it's almost like they've either used some real fruit or some sort of, like, I don't know. I've not asked them what's in there, but I know at the minute, Rate My Beer and Hackney Church and Real Ale Craft Beer, they've made this Agadoo beer, a pineapple Weizenbock. It's just a out there beer. God, hashtag Speno waffle. That's a proper waffle, right? Your turn,
right.
Kyle.
I'm gonna pour this in nothing else than a Polly's glass. Nothing but Polly's. It can only go in a Polly's glass. So
Yeah.
we'll pour this.
Do you know?
Um,
Oh, go on. Sorry.
no, no, go on. You go ahead, mate.
I was saying, do you notice that I've purposely done this? So I'm using the wrong glass for the wrong beer. I'm not drinking craft beer and things like that. I'm drinking some different types of beer, so that, like, the Beer Bros reviews that I'm talking to now can bring the craft beer to this video.
Well, I appreciate that.
Look at
Cheers,
that.
Benno.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. All the best. Look at that in the glass. Look at it. Oh, that
It's already
looks amazing.
started lacing already. As soon as I've had a sip.
You can see, you can literally see every sip.
Yeah,
And
that's what I mean. Like I thought like before when we were just rinsing them with the hot water and then putting the cold water and then just putting them on the side. I thought to myself, where's all that? why is the foam not sticking to the glass like you do when you're in a pub or if you go to a craft beer place? I thought, are these beers not like up to standard or something? Obviously they weren't, but obviously it wasn't until you kindly enlightened us. And then now it's all I think about when I'm drinking and I'm pouring the beer. Every time I sip, I'll put the glass up and I'll go, wow, look at all that just clinging to the glass. And you were absolutely spot on. And I'm so thankful that you said something, and I know that it was coming from a positive place and just like you was just trying to help us and stuff. So
beating
yeah,
heart, mate. You know, I've got a tattoo on my arm, and I don't know whether you see it, it's the Charlie Mackesy book, and that little boy there
awesome.
with a mole. He says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" asked the mole. Kind, said the boy. And I've had that because I'm that boy. I've been brought up correctly. I respect people. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I only ever want to be kind and nice and helpful and thoughtful and generous. You know what I mean? Like yourself, you come across really kind and thoughtful and nice and that. And it's just all about sharing that love. So it wasn't about like people could put in the comments, and thankfully they were all kind as well. Nobody put, "Oh, your glasses are dirty, mate," or anything like that. And the last place I wanted to talk to you about it was in the comments, because I'll see sort of like, say, I've just used this glass. I'll see beer reviewers pouring a beer on a YouTube channel and go, "Oh, right, well, the head retention's gone, the head's gone, it's disappeared." And I'm watching it thinking, I've had that exact same beer, and the head has stayed and the foam has stayed all the way down. The reason that head has gone is because your glass has killed it, because all the carbonation, all the natural carbonation that's been produced by the brewing process of the yeast and that's supposed to rise up and form the foam to protect the beer from oxygen, so to speak, is all around the glass, and it's knackered it. And I've done a video and I demonstrate it. I think I do it with a Braybrook brewer. I'm not sure which one I do it with. But I have this great brew. No, Utopian, I think it is. And it's fantastic in the glass. Brilliant, always looking good. I pour it into this non-beer clean glass and it literally dies, So all these brewers that are spending all this time making this fantastic beer and then watching people slag it off because, the head's gone and all that, it's... I'll probably get some comments on this video saying, "Oh, Speno, you know what you're talking about, do you?" No, it's not about that. It's just about, everybody knows about. Well, I didn't until somebody told me. But the beer clean glasses, it's a thing. It's a thing.
It's only the same as a lot of people like to clean their cars. Maybe it's not a direct comparison, but a lot of people are quite proud of the car and the people who make the car, so they wash their car. Or, why would you sleep in a dirty bed that's got dirty sheets? It's not very cleanly, is it? And it's going to start smelling afterwards. Like, those are the types of comparisons that you can link to a beer glass. You're not getting the best out of your sheets. You're not getting the best out of your car if it looks dirty. So, and the same goes to the beer. Like you say, these brewers who are pouring their heart and soul into the beer, and then people are buying it, and they're maybe not by a fault of their own, because maybe they don't know about it. They're uneducated, and that's fine. Like, it's not a bad thing if you don't know about it. You're not doing it. We were never doing it intentionally. We were just doing what we thought was right by saving the print on the glass because they didn't want to put it in the dishwasher or whatever. But since then, like you say, the pictures, there's no more bubbles hanging to the glass, and there's no more like ugliness of the pictures. And to be honest with you, the beer tastes better.
Yeah.
And there's no more like grease smudges on it or anything like that. Like, visually as well as taste wise, it's just like a million times better.
Yeah. And you get in the proper mouthfeel. You're basically getting everything that brewery wants you to experience in that beer. And let's face it, like, having a beer is an experience, because you first of all, you get the beer and you look at the label and you think, right, the label, that's great artwork, that's really nice. I mean, that Verdant one, it's just got sort of like some spinning sort of circles on it.
It's almost like hypnotic.
I know. And they ain't just gone, oh, beer label, oh, that'll do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
They thought, they've designed it, and then they've brewed a beer, they've gone for it, it's been passionately done. And so when you crack that can open, like from that very first crack, and then sometimes you get an aroma straight away. You know, if you've got a real dank beer or something, you get that aroma straight away. Then you pour it into the glass, you go, whoa, look at that. And sometimes you can go a bit odd and think, oh my God, that's got some decent carbonation, big head, whatever. And then you smell it and then you drink it. I drink beer, and like we all do, with his eyes, his nose, and
yeah,
his mouth.
yeah,
And if it looks good, and it smells good and it tastes good, and then all the way down the glass, it still looks good, and then it just leaves itself all over the glass, then
yeah,
it's an
definitely.
experience that the brewery wants you to have. And when you're talking about Verdant and Polly's and Cloudwater, you know, they're like just hoptastic. I mean, Thornbridge, I love Thornbridge Brewery. I really do. I find Thornbridge a bit. How can I say it? Their hop sort of use is quite fresh. It's like less danky, more fresher. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, yeah,
it's. I mean, Verdant. Oh God. I mean that putty. I know people call it the hype beer, but God, that triple, the putty triple changed the chemistry of my body.
yeah. It
What
was a
did you?
bit too much for me. It was a
Oh,
bit too much for me. I'll be honest with you, but I preferred the double IPA of it, just the putty.
yeah,
I preferred the double IPA. The triple IPA was like a step too far for me. But still, though, for them to be able to like push the boundaries and
yeah,
make something like that, it was just, you know what I mean. And like I say, they're probably one of the most hyped breweries in the country, if not in like the beer community and beer business, because for good reason.
yeah, yeah. Well, they're not.
Obviously, I,
Go on.
I don't know. I don't know if I can say this yet. It's just a completely different tangent, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. But
It's all right.
if you can edit it out until I know, that's fine. But I just want to tell you while I'm here now. But would you be able to edit this bit out?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's a bit of like breaking news, if you will. But I'm going to be working at Polly's from in a couple of weeks. From the next couple of weeks, I'll be working at Polly's.
Well, actually, you got a job at Polly's.
Yeah, yeah.
That deserves a spin on
Yeah.
Wicked. And what's your
Like
job role?
well, initially I'm just going to be like just doing a bit of everything, like helping in the warehouse, picking the beer orders and stuff like that. But obviously, there's going to be opportunities to help in the brewery and stuff like that. Like it's just the everybody there. I can't tell. Well, I can tell you they're all amazing people. Like the mantra that they have is to just keep improving, make the best beer that they can, but also from like a workplace standpoint, they're all just really amazing people. They all look out for each other. My experience, being there while I've interviewed and stuff like that, that's the exact kind of environment that I want to work in.
Oh, wow.
And obviously, they thought that I was a good fit for them. So obviously, I'm going to be working for them. So like, I'm absolutely ecstatic. Like, I can't wait to start.
Trying to
And
get fireworks. Sometimes when I do that, trying to get fireworks on stream. I don't even mean to do it. I just go to Jimbo, like, cheers, Jimbo. And then all these fireworks go, oh, wow. But you know what's going to be brilliant? They're going to see the passion of your love of beer
yeah,
in your, and you're going to be itching to
yeah,
input brewing, and
yeah,
you're going to have ideas. And straight away, I reckon within seconds you'll be put on some sort of training scheme, and I can see you being. I think we can look back on this a year. We can talk, say, a year from now and go, I can't believe you are like now the head brewer or something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
How,
I can't believe that they gave me an opportunity. Like I don't really think much of myself. That's just the way that I am. I'm not I'm a confident person, but I sometimes I lack confidence in myself, if that makes sense. I know it's kind of contradictory, but I'm very I don't like taking compliments because I don't see it myself. But obviously, for them to be able to say you're the type of person that we want in our brewery, then obviously I'm greatly honoured by that, and I honestly I can't wait.
Believe it or not, I understand. In order to be able to understand someone's feelings, you've got to experience them yourself. And like I say, on camera, when I do all my YouTube videos or when whatever, I'm like this crazy, like got a massive sort of like type of
Yeah.
thing or whatever, full of confidence and everything else. And when I play my guitar and I've not done a gig for ages, but like if you was to come to say a gig at the Tap and Barrel when I've been there and I've done a gig, and you walked in when I was actually sort of like halfway through my first song, and then the next time you spoke to me was at the end of the gig, you will go, "There's the most confident person I've ever seen in my life," whereas really I'm the most humblest. I'm shy, and and when I used to run the open mic there, I would always have to start the open mic and I do a couple of songs, but I just couldn't wait to get off because I want other people up there and
Yeah,
I want people to hear other people. I want some of the young talent, some of the young guys and girls that used to come. And you're talking, you'd have sort of like, 15, 16-year-olds come and blow me away with their
yeah,
vocal capacity and their guitar because they're in their bedroom every night practicing the guitar, practicing the guitar.
yeah,
And I would turn around and go, "Oh my God, you're absolutely amazing." And people will say to me like, "Oh yeah, but Spano, you're really good." I'm like, "Nah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right." Rather than go, "Yeah, I know, I'm good."
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it. What it is you've just displayed that you're a humble guy, and you will probably at some point during your career at Polly's brew one of the best beers. You'll do like you'll have an idea, an inspiration, something comes out with your passion of beer. You'll create a fantastic beer, and somebody will turn around and say, "That's the best beer Polly's has ever brewed," and you won't be able to accept that. You'll go, "Oh no, 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 no,
yeah.
no, no."
You're right. Yeah,
you
that's
know.
it.
So they actually approached you then, did they? They approached you.
Well, there was one of the brewers was leaving because quite a lot of them travel quite far to the brewery, so they was getting jobs that were closer. So they had openings for like a position there, and I'm not trying to like say anything about myself, but where I currently work, I earn a lot more money there than I will be at Polly's. But like my fiance wants me to be happy because I'm not happy where I'm working. And obviously, and anybody that follows Beer Bros know that I'm very passionate about beer. Otherwise, I wouldn't do what I do.
Yeah,
So it makes sense to me to work somewhere where it's my hobby and it's my interest and it's genuinely a passion to me. Like money's irrelevant because I just feel like I've got a future there. I've got a journey to go on, and I've
yeah,
actually got a career there because they're only 6 years old. I think they started in 2018. They've not been going for as long as some of these other breweries, so they still have thousands of miles to go yet. They could expand, they could, whatever, move or whatever. So even though 6 years is a long time, it's not at the same time. So I'm just excited to join them at this point now and just see where it goes because
yeah.
they've done so much work to get to where they are. I mean, where they started was literally like a barn. It was just a single barn with a couple of all the brewing gear inside, and now they've got a full place to, and they can brew up to 8 times, whereas before they were just doing it like once a week. And you
Oh,
wouldn't
right.
believe the amount of beer that they've got there, and they're in supermarkets and stuff like that. And they've even done tap takeovers in Belgium and stuff like that. It's not just like
Really?
they're known worldwide as far as I know. So, and
Yeah,
I'd just be really proud to work there. Like, and I've never felt like that before. I've never felt proud to work somewhere. It's not that I've been ashamed. It's just when you admire a company or you admire their ethos or what they do, I just feel like it motivates you more to like be a better person and like work harder and stuff like that. So, yeah, I wasn't planning on saying anything, and I hope you can
yeah.
don't
Oh,
show this until like I'm ready to say? Because I mean, will it just be on YouTube? This?
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll put this on my YouTube channel because I want to do like these sort of like video. It's more for the ale and audio community and the pub share community. There's probably not a lot of just general YouTube viewers that'll watch it, but I know that like Jimbo at Ale and Audio is really looking forward to watching this video, and he said, "I've got to get them guys on. I've got to get them guys on."
Oh,
So
that's
and
amazing.
like Joe from the Brew Club Hull as well. He'll get you on Desert Island Beers, things
Yeah, I
like that.
spoke to him today.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah, I
fun.
spoke to him. Yeah, I
Because what
spoke to him today.
he does, he sends you a series of like basically WhatsApp questions, if you know what I mean. And you look at the question, and he'll send you the question, and then you have to record the answer. So you get your phone and you start recording the answer. And what's this? I got like I've got a flashing battery light on my mic. Let me just change the light because everything's going good. So luckily I've got another one charged here. I think. Oh, why is that? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, what's going on here? Just go. Let's see. It's a good job I can edit out. Oh, there we are. We're back on. Right. Hold on. Yeah, I think the lost connection on my phone. Where was I? What was I saying?
About Brew Club Hull. WhatsApp questions you've recorded.
Oh yeah. So you'll watch this back and you'll be like, "Whoa, that's a good edit." But yeah, so you stand here and he'll ask you the question, and then you'll get your phone and you'll start me talking into it, and then you go, "Oh no, delete! Oh, I messed
Forgot to
up."
press record.
And it takes you the actual, depending on how much you waffle on the question, it takes minutes. But like I think I was down here for about an hour and a half trying to get all the questions answered. And but yeah, he's had some famous people on there, and he's a legend. And I met him when we went to Hartlepool, and what a lad, what a legend, and yeah,
Awesome, that's amazing.
really fantastic. But yeah, I mean, Jimbo will definitely get you on. Are you familiar with the Airland radio station? Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to it today on that. They were on Spotify, but they're on something else now. I can't remember what the bloody thing's called.
It's
Like some X, is it or something?
Mixcloud.
Yeah, that's
Mix,
it. Mixcloud,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. I mean, it's really weird because Spotify. So years ago, and this is why I like these chats because we can go on a tangent. Years ago, I was very much involved, the same as I am with the beer sheddies and the beer loving community, with the music scene, the Leicester music scene. I was really heavily involved with that. I did Ox Jam. I used to do sound for Ox Jam, and this is like I say, I'm a humble guy. But I managed eventually to get the best venue for Ox Jam at the Exchange Bar. It was the one that all the sound engineers wanted to do. And I'm not a sound engineer. I did it as a hobby, but I was passionate about it. And all the musicians would say to me, "Oh, your sound is really good." And it's not because I was trained; it's because I was passionate about it. And
Yeah.
so I was really into that sort of scene. And oh my god, I can't remember where I was going with this. Jesus Christ, that is absolutely
Leicester music scene.
oh, that is crazy.
You
See,
managed to get the bar.
I'm old. I'm old. Look at the lacing on the. I'm old. Give me 3 beers and I'm knackered. Oh God, where was I going with it? Bloody hell, Jesus! I'm gonna have to edit that out.
You got something about the ale and audio.
Where did it start? With the Mixcloud, weren't it?
Yeah, Mixcloud. And you
Oh,
got really involved in the music scene, and you managed to get the venue what the sound engineers wanted.
yeah. Oh God, I don't know where we're going. Jesus, that's like honestly. How old are you, Carl? How old are you?
32.
See, when you get 20 years later, this is what's going to happen to you.
It happens to me now, mate. Trust me, I do that all the time.
Oh my God, it was obviously something about being really passionate or whatever, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So do you drink much jam and beer?
Well, when we not long after we started the page, I had a mate from work. He lives in a place called Bebington, which is on the Wirral. And he's got this bottle shop name called Prost. And the guy
Oh,
just gets beers from all over the world. And he actually got me like quite a few German lagers. So some of them would be like Pilsners. And there was like a Paulaner Munich lager as well.
yeah.
I think I had about three or four of them, and they were actually really nice. But I don't tend to venture much into like obscure beers. Like I'm not a fan of stouts. I will not do. The only stout I'll do is Guinness, and that's it. And I know that sounds really close-minded, but I'm just not a dark beer or a stout type person or anything like that. But I've had some genuine beers from Germany. I've just since then I've always see I get most of my beer online, you see.
Yeah.
Apart from Polly's, which I can go and pick up from the brewery, anything I get, it's just online. So I'll go on Verdant and I'll get whatever they've got, or I'll get my Hawkston subscription. And then the full circle ones I got off Bruiser. They had
All
like
right.
a promotion where it was like just pay the shipping and they'll send you some cans.
Oh,
So I thought
wicked.
£5.99, it's worth it to get four cans. And I'm actually quite impressed with this full circle. They're pretty good.
How
Actually
much did
quite
you
like them.
pay there for 4 cans?
£5.99. So it was four cans of four circle. So there was this New England IPA. There was a Kolsch style lager which I had last
Oh,
night, and
yeah.
I never reviewed it, which was actually really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a table IPA which was like 3.8%, and then there was a hazy IPA as well. So four beers for free. You just pay £5.99 for the shipping.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
one
So
for the Ellen Audio podcast for the money saving ideas. The
yeah, definitely.
what Dave Hardy does. I can't even think of that neither. That's gone out of my mind. Do you know what? Right, I'm just going to pause it. Well, I'm not going to pause it. Like, but I'm just going to go around the back of the Spencer Arms toilet for a little whittle. Be back in a second. You might even hear it on the mic. This might be disconnected. Really good. God, I wish I could remember what I was talking about with the music. See, that's really wank.
It's just
I'll edit that out. Yeah, it's really weird. Like Jan at the Boxing Hounds always laughs at me because I say the toilet's around the back of the shed. But no, this sort of beer loving community is really good, isn't it? It really is good.
oh yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Like when I was mentioning Craig before, I can't remember how it came about, but I think you might have put something on your story or something like that, and Craig started following me. So I just messaged him to say like, thanks for following us, like I really appreciate it. And we just started talking or whatever. And he's just like he's absolutely legend of a guy. Like he's so kind, so
yeah,
like supportive of everybody. Like and like I've not spoke to him that much. Like I spoke to him a little bit, but obviously not to the lengths that you know him and stuff like that. But just going off the conversations that I've had with him, like he even said like in the future it would be nice if we could all like meet up or whatever, and I'll be open to that definitely. I think that would be like a proper good laugh or whatever. But for somebody
yeah,
that doesn't like, I'm quite an untrusting person to people that I don't know, especially when it comes to the people that I love. I'm very like I like to put bubble wrap around people that I love. Do you know what I mean? Like I like to proper protect them and stuff. But when it comes to this, I just feel like I feel part of something. Like people have been so well receiving of us. Like obviously we don't have thousands of followers. I mean, we're not far off 1,000 now. I think we're on like 945, which I would never
Amazing.
have thought would have happened when we first started it. And I know it's not like celebrity numbers or anything, but that's not why we did it. Like, we did it because me and Ryan were on like a sort of like a beer journey. Like, he discovered Hawkston around about the same time that I did, and since then, for me, it's just sort of like rekindled this passion for craft beer, and then we've just sort of like ran with it.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes we'll be a lot more active than others, and it's just due to like personal, like our lifestyle and what's going in our life and stuff like that. So, and a lot of the times it's just pictures of beer, and like I say, it just fluctuates depending on what our lifestyle's like. Sometimes we're busy and tired or whatever, but we try to do the best that we can. And at the end of the day, we were just doing it because we love beer and we just want to share it with everybody. And in my opinion, there's a space for everybody. I
Yeah.
don't know that there's a lot of people that have more followers than others, but everybody that I've spoke to and everybody that has conversed with us have all been like well receiving of us, supportive, and we just try and do the same back as much as we can because we're not the only ones here. And like I said, there's a space for everybody, and it's just I've had nothing like Pablo the other day. I know that he's been in hospital. I've never
Yeah.
spoke to him before. I've liked a lot of his photos, but I just dropped him a message to say like, listen, we haven't spoke before, but obviously I've seen that you're in hospital. I just want to say like all the best. Hope you have a speedy recovery and stuff like that. And he was just like, "Oh mate, I really appreciate that. It's so nice." So
Yeah.
like, it's just about sometimes it's about reaching out to people. If they haven't approached you, what's the harm in just reaching out and saying, "Listen, I've been watching you from afar. I really like what you're doing." In the same way as what you did for us. Like, you were
Yeah.
obviously watching from afar, watching what we were doing, and you noticed there was an area that we could improve. And I know they say you were contemplating it a little bit, but eventually you just sort of reached out with good intentions, and look what it's become.
Yeah. Well, this is the reason we're chatting now, and
Well, exactly.
right back to Pablo, you've just echoed basically what he said the other day. I don't know whether you've seen it, but he had a bit. I think he was having that tipper. I think it was that from Cloudwater as well, like
Yeah, it
about
was
a
a
10%.
cloud walk, triple IPA. Yeah,
And he's obviously thought, "Do you know what? People are just like following me just for their own needs and things like that." And he said, "This is social media for a reason." Now, I used to be on Facebook. I had my own personal Instagram account. And then this is a new thing that I did with all the pub shed stuff when we built this pub shed and that. And I've deleted Facebook. I've deleted my personal Instagram account because that was just them social media things. It was just everybody's liking everybody's post, no matter what it is, and there's no
yeah,
real interaction. There's no. I mean, there's a lot of people on there that I did personally see through the music scene and that. But with the pub shed community, there's a genuine, proper interaction. There's a genuine love
yeah,
there. There's a genuine need to sort of to be with these people. And actually, when you talk about, I mean, I can reveal this because Pablo revealed it today on the radio station. But the Cask Master that I've been involved in, we're actually all going over to Manchester to meet up, like us three, Mark and John, myself, Pablo, and hopefully Jimbo, going over to Manchester to meet. And basically, it was you could drive there, do the task, and then drive home. And we were all like, "Man, no, let's make a day of it. So we're going to drive there, do the task, but then we're going to spend the day going around all the different breweries. And Mark and John are going to take us around the different breweries and all around Manchester. And we're going to have like four of us, hopefully, if Jimbo can make it, like four of us, lads, weekend out, having a few beers, a few laughs, because that's what we want to do, because
yeah.
they're big
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
friends. And Pablo's saying that, like interact with me, speak to me, talk to me. And that's exactly what you've done. You've heard on the radio that he is not been well, and you've reached out to him, you've wished him well. And that's the sort of stuff that is fantastic amongst this community. And I'm hoping that, because there's YouTubers that I follow, like there's Beer Monster, there's Crumbly Beard, obviously Rate My Beer. I mean, them guys, crikey, they've been brilliant. They even done the can for me.
Yeah,
Really, really great. In fact, when they done the launch of the Agadudu, because I've been quite not involved as such, but I've like been sharing that a lot. And they told me when I talked to them like we are now, they told me about that they're thinking of trying to get this collaboration together. So they sent me a photo last night when they were at the launch, and then they tried to video call me, and I missed it. I was like, gutted. Paul's dressed up like a pineapple, for goodness sake. And people are like, there's a few people that have gone, oh, a pineapple Weiss beer, you know, Weiss and Bock. So it's like basically a Bock is a dark lager.
Yeah, dark lager.
It's not a colour variation, even though it's a Bock beer. If you actually look at the Bock style, most of it is dark, like almost this, you know, this sort of colour.
Yeah.
But you can also go down the lighter scale. But yeah, it's just there's so much interaction. And to be honest with you, I can't keep up with it. I just can't. It's like every now and then you'll probably see that I've probably not liked your last 10 posts or whatever, but then I go, right, BeerBros, let's have a look what they've been doing. Because you're doing stuff every day. I'm like, I just check it every now and then. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. You know, and it's mad out there. It's mad in this world because
there's so much content.
Yeah,
there's so much content, and I think it's fair to say that because I've definitely done this myself as well, and I'm sure there's other people that are the same. But some people have like a bit of trepidation about reaching out to people. They might be shy, or they might think, oh, he's got loads of followers, he's not going to want to respond to me. And that's a genuine feeling of some people, because they feel like, oh, I might only have 200 followers, they're not going to want to speak to me or whatever. But from my experience, everybody that I've reached out to, they've responded, and there's been conversation back and forth. So if anybody's listening that is maybe new, or maybe they don't have as many followers as some of the big people in the beer community, just reach out. Like, there's nothing bad's going to happen. Like, nobody's going to say, oh, I'm not speaking to you or whatever. Take it from me, and obviously you can vouch for it, and everybody else that we speak to. We're all here for the same reason. We're not all here for different reasons. We're all here for the same reason, and there's a space for everybody. So there's no need to have any trepidation or feel like nobody's going to speak to me. It might not be straight away, because we've all got individual lives. We've got work to do. We would all love to do this for work and get paid for it. That would be like the best job ever. Like, just don't be afraid to reach out to people, because everybody that I spoke to, they've been supportive. They love what we're doing, because we all share this common interest, which is beer. So that's the common denominator of all this.
Yeah, of course it is. And the thing is, as well, with my YouTube channel, since I've done that first video, and it got quite a lot of, like, I mean, it's Guinness, for goodness sake. If I wanted to get a lot of hits on a video, if I made a Guinness video, it'd just get a lot of hits. But I'm never out to do a YouTube channel to make any money or anything like that. I work to earn my money. The YouTube, I do it for me, basically. So what it is, like, I went through a big life-changing moment, like in 2019. It was massive for me. I was proper. I'm not going to go into it, but literally, I was wiped out. I'd had enough, and it was a life-changing. It was a life-changing thing for me. And but now my life is fantastic. I've got a wonderful wife. She's absolutely amazing. But I still have like a big sheet of 8x4 ply that's nailed down to the ground with the demons underneath. And every now and then it pops out like something out of Thriller. And I think I did a boys get sad sort of like video as well. I bought the t-shirt and I daren't wear it. I didn't want to wear it, because if you wear it, it draws attention, which is the idea. And I actually wore it at the Radio 2 party in the park at Victoria Park in Leicester. And it was, Janie says to me, wear it. And a few people come up to me and say, I love your t-shirt. What a great sort of like statement. And my friend has been going through this, that, and the other, and I need to introduce him, and blah, 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 and reach out. And, and it was a big share. But I come down here and I put a camera in front of myself and I waffle on, and I'll probably do a 40-minute video that then I edit down to like 25 minutes or whatever, because I'm not waffling. But the bits I edit out are me just chatting and waffling. and it's good for the mind. It's anything else that you might be thinking about that's negative. You ain't got time to
Just
think
to
about.
binge.
You're talking about a beer and you're doing that and
Yeah.
you whatever. So my YouTube channel is for me, if you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
for me.
it's your escape and it's your
Yeah.
time.
And the thing is, and Jimbo mentioned this to me, you could have 1 million followers, but like if only 100 of them are actually like watching and liking, then that's what means. So none of us need to get hung up on followers or subscribers or anything like that. When I do a YouTube video, if I can probably get like one comment on a video and it's a positive comment, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, there's
Yeah.
that one person has really watched that, really enjoyed it, really liked it, and that's good enough for me. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about having hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments, anything like that. I'm not. I mean, the Guinness video, yeah, that's gone. That's had a lot of comments and likes and things, but that's down to Guinness, really, not down to me. So everything I do, I just do it for me, really. And the people that comment and the people that like are only a small amount of people, but I really, really appreciate that, and it's really good. I mean, the Spencer Arms hasn't got that many followers, but wow, what a great team of people we all
Yes,
are.
exactly.
It's absolutely brilliant. But I love what you do. I love the way you showcase the beer. I love your photos. I love you do things regular, and
Yeah.
that's what gets the traction. And your stuff about beer. The history about the glasses, the history about the beer. It's almost a shame you're not doing a YouTube channel but then I don't want to put any pressure on Ryan. So Ryan, if you're watching this, which you
Yeah.
will be, you'll watch your boy, and you know,
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to put, because Janie, me and her, we're like a double act, and we banter all the while. We have a laugh. And when we did the quiz with Pat from Airline Audio, they said, "Oh, we need to see this double act again because she's banging. She's funny as, but she
Yeah.
hates being in front of the camera, and you
Yeah,
can't
yeah, yeah.
force anybody to be in front of the camera
No,
at
no,
all."
no, no, no.
Hey, look, we've only had 2 beers.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Should we have
Well, I've
another
still
one?
got 2 more here.
Should we
So
have another one? Let's crack another one open and see what looks.
well, I'll tell you what, we'll do something interesting, Spen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you pick the next one because I think that's only fair.
Oh God, go on then.
So obviously I've only brought 4, so it's only a 50-50 split, but we can either go for another Polly's or we can go for the full circle. So this is a
Right.
New England IPA, and this
Okay.
one's just an IPA.
So what's the ABVs on them then? So
So the every piece matters is a 6.7, and this has got Citra and Mosaic hops.
okay, yeah.
And then the full circle is a 6.3, and this has got Columbus, Cryopop, Citra, and Sultana.
Sultana. Is that a hop?
That's what it says. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see that. It's just here.
Wow.
It says Columbus, Cryopop, Citra, and Sultana. Never heard of Cryopop or Sultana before.
Oh, me neither. Me neither. I mean, Citra and Mosaic. I mean, I'm the Citra hop for me is one that definitely needs to be light and blended. It's too
Yeah,
powerful in the Citra flavors for me. I like the Citra taste you get from other hops that bring that Citra taste,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but I'm not a big fan of the Citra hop. So because of that, full circle. That's interesting. But
Full
no
circle. Yep.
disrespect, Hollis. Look,
No,
you
no.
know that Hollis beer
We'll,
is going to be brilliant.
we'll have to use the BeerBros though because I don't have a full circle one. So
Right, okay. Right. So
um,
I'm going to put this one back in the fridge because that's for me and Johnson. And because I am a naughty boy and it's the smoke beer, I'm going to use the same glass, like old school, like years ago. Now
yeah,
this is going to be Dave now because Dave. Oh God. Do you know what? I'm going to put this down to being so tired. I've been working from sort of like 6 o'clock in the morning till 8:30 at night. I'm absolutely knackered. But Dave, Slurpy Dave, if you've ever watched him on YouTube, he's legendary. And he's not a craft beer boy. He is an old school, real ale, proper hand pulled legend. He does brilliant YouTube videos. He knows all the histories of pull. Look at that. You see? Stunning. Look at it. Completely and utterly beautiful in that glass. Beautiful head, poured amazingly.
Smells nice.
See, it's all about you tonight, mate. So,
I can smell the sultana in that. That's the first thing that I get.
what you can actually smell sultana, as in there.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the first thing that I can smell. That's interesting.
Wow.
I've never had anything like that before.
So is the sultana a hop, or have they actually put sultan?
I don't know. I don't know what cryopop is either. I've never heard that before.
See, I've got a hop. Let me get my hop book. Hold on a minute. Now, some of these sort of like crazy hops or new hops, experimental hops, are not in here. So I've got this hop book. So tell me the cryo hop or something, is it?
Cryopop. Cryopop.
No, that ain't in here. Wow.
And then sultana.
Sultana, that's crazy. Can't be a sultana hop, surely not.
That's a really interesting smell, though.
Yeah.
The colour on it, though, it's almost like orange juice.
Yeah. It's like yeah, it is like almost orange and pineapple, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
So the smell is sultana.
Oh, got a bit of my nose there.
Do you know what? One of the things I love, well, I don't do it on purpose, but when you're smelling the beer, if you actually snort the head of the beer, it's a hit, isn't it?
Anyway, cheers, Speno.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers, Carl. Like, not Kale, Kyle. Look at that. Mm. Oh, what you got? That's interesting.
I feel like my taste buds might be a bit corrupt because I've already had 2 different beers, but
Yeah.
the smell is sultana, but it's almost like I get it in the taste as well. That's very unique.
Oh, that sounds really interesting.
Wow, that's actually really nice. I wasn't expecting that at all. Wow, that's actually really nice. I'm glad that I tried that.
So what is it then? Let me have a look again. Let's just remind.
It's a New England IPA, elevated music, 6.3%, and then those are the hops there at the top. I don't know if you can see it. Don't know if that's
Yeah, I'm the same with the focusing in. It's
Columbus, Cryopop, Citra, and Sultana.
Wow. That's
that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'll be checking that one out, definitely.
I can send you the link to that that $5.99 for 4 beers if you're interested in that.
Yeah, please. That's an outrageously good bargain. That is.
Yeah.
It
does. Have you got an account with Bruiser?
No, I haven't. No, but I have heard of them. I've not.
So it does say it does enroll you into a subscription, but once you've received these beers, you can just cancel it online. It's not like Beer 52 where you've got to call up. You can just cancel it straight away. So there's no like pressure or anything like that. So, but I'll definitely recommend it. Everyone that I've had has been really nice.
Well, just talking about Beer 52, I really enjoyed because I like to subscribe and then have it for a bit and then stop and then try something else. So you're sort of going around. I mean, at the minute, the Thornbridge Beer Club, I think I am going to stick with that until I get my glass after a year. Because after a year, you get a free glass, and I think you get a birthday surprise as well. But it's just been so good. I've had some imperial stouts. I've had some crazy sort of like imperial, like some stupidly big bottles of sours, and I've not even had them yet. But but it's not just sort of standard beer. You get some really good beers, very interesting. But Beer 52, as much as I love that, and it was really good, and you got like a book and you got free gifts and things.
Yeah.
When I tried to cancel, wow, it was like the
You have
hardest
to
thing. Well,
jump through hoops. Jump through hoops.
don't you realise you've got like a voucher for such and such, and you can spend that for next month? And I'm like, well, no, actually, I want to cancel it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to be missing out on this and the other. This is not a slag off at all. The customer service is fine, but
No.
they're like, stay with us, please, please. And I think the reason why I did cancel is because I ended up with just loads of little tins that I'd not had for a while. And I thought, oh my god, I've got too much beer. So it wasn't because the service was bad or anything. Nothing to do with that. It was just that I thought, oh my god, another month's gone by. Another beer stash has come. I've already ordered other beer. I've got literally beer in my t-shirt everywhere, you know. But then they ring you up. Hello, are you all right? I just thought I'd give you a ring because, well, I'm like, no, just leave me alone. If I want to
Yeah.
subscribe, but
I'll do it myself.
they're quite persistent in there, you know. But
Persistent, yeah, definitely.
they did bring some good beers, to be fair, and I
Oh
have
yeah,
had,
definitely.
yeah, and I've had some good stuff. But crikey, they really do like to sort of like put you in handcuffs if they can.
Yeah,
The blessed.
yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely.
yes, yeah, you'll have to send me that. You'll have to send me that link, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely will, definitely will. So basically next Friday, myself and Ryan and one of the other mates, Jamie, obviously I don't put personal stuff on BeerBros, whatever, but I'm getting married at the end of May. So yeah, like what you were saying before, I'm not gonna like go into it or whatever, but like 2 years ago I met the girl of my dreams basically, and everything just everything just happened at the right time for us both, and she's
Yeah,
the most amazing person in the world. And you know, I know it sounds cliche or whatever, but she is everything that I've ever wanted. And you know, we're getting married at the end of at the end of May. So next Friday, I'm only having like a really small stag do, and we're just doing something that like I'm interested in. So next Friday we're going to go down to Daya in Cheltenham,
oh,
which
I
I know
love.
that you know about. You've had loads of beers off them. I haven't had anything off there yet, so I thought
Really
it might be a good
treat.
idea to go down to the tap room and try some of the beers on the tap room and maybe get a few cans. So we're going to drive down to Daya, have a quick pint there, get some cans, and then after that we're going to the Hawkston tap room, and we're just going to like stay there all day. And sometimes they have music on and stuff like that, and they've got like a food there on site now all the time, whereas it used to be only on Fridays and Saturdays. So um, yeah, it's not like a typical stag do where maybe you go to Amsterdam or something like that. But again, obviously with me and Ryan being beer bros and being all about the beer, it just seemed like the best thing to do for what I'm interested in. And obviously,
Yeah,
it's not selfish, but it's my stag do, and it's what I wanted to do. So I'm
yeah,
really
yeah,
looking forward to that. I've never had anything from Daya before, so I'm really looking forward to that. And you know, I was saying before about Rick, who was the master brewer for Hawkston.
yeah.
There's another guy that works there who's a brewer. I don't know if you follow him or not, but he's called the Brew Don, and he's actually a brewer at Hawkston, and I talked to him quite a lot. He's a really nice guy. So when we go down to Hawkston, he's going to have a pint with us, and we're going to take some pictures for Instagram and everything. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like it's you know I know other people like to go crazy and do all this mad stuff for stag do's and stuff like that, but for what I'm interested in and what Ryan's interested in, it just seems like the perfect thing to do. So I'm actually really looking forward to that.
And also as well, what you got to remember is like with my stag do. I mean, you got to imagine like I'm in what was I 49 when I met Janie, and so my stag do was very tame. We went to Weymouth with six beer loving lads. And what we
Yeah,
did, we went all around the different pubs. I mean, okay, they dressed me up as Wonder Woman, you know, but if you've watched the Taskmaster stuff, you know that I don't mind being dressed up as a woman, like all for a laugh. But basically, the premise of the stag do was to go round all the different, because Weymouth has got a brilliant harbour with loads of fantastic pubs and things, and just have a boys' night out, drinking some decent beer.
Yeah, that's it.
And I actually said to the lads, I said, I'm telling you now, I said, I'm and I never have been. I'm not into strippers. I'm not into any of that.
No.
I said, if you organise a bloody police lady or something, I said, I'm going home. I said, I'm just going to walk and get an Uber back to Leicester. I said, so don't do any of that. I'm not into that whatsoever. So a typical stag do with all like smashing shots down and getting absolutely leathered, honking up all over the place, and just getting stripped or whatever it may be. And don't get me wrong, anybody that's watching this who does that, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like beer; it's subjective. You know what I mean? You do what you want to do, but nobody's going to take anything away from you. In fact, if I had an invite for a stag do and they said, right, lads, we're going Benidorm. Years ago, we're going to go and see my alter ego, Sticky Vicky, who was on Castmaster and all that. You know, I actually dressed up and played that part. But like, and we're going to do this. We're going to go to a lap dancing club. I'll be like, nah, I'll give it a miss. But if I got a friend ring me up and say, we're going to Deo Brewery and we're going to sample some of them beers, and then we're going to go to Hawkston. Is it Hawkston?
Yeah, Hawkston, yeah.
Brewery, and we're going to meet the brewer or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm proper down for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and do you know what? I'm going to tell you something about Deo Brewery, right? They are just like absolutely brilliant with their glue range, their glue tack range of beers, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think, I mean, they have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not a core range of beers that they do. They only bring it out every now and then. So I bought their glue tack box, and it had stickers in it and little tattoos, and it was brilliant. And they always like send it, all comes really nicely and very kindly sent to you, and you can tell that they're really lovely people. And you review the beer and you tell everybody about the beer, and then you go on the website like, oh my God, they've got a whole new range of beers. It's like you can't get the and you're like,
yeah, that's true.
And then a week later, you go on there to get the beer you really like. It's like, oh, they're not doing that now. They've got a whole new range of beers.
Yeah.
They're just absolutely amazing. But what they are brilliant at is the mouthfeel. It's like, you know, we talked about Verdant with the saturation of the hops, and they know how to literally like rinse everything out the hops. I love their beers. They use oats a lot in their beers, and
yes.
And, the mouthfeel on that. Them glue. If you ever get a chance to have the glue tack range, oh my days! Even I'm sure it's 4% pale ale they do. You can drink that. I think it's about 8% or 8% super glue, and then you could have 4% one, and it don't disappoint. It's not like you're drinking an empty beer. Bloody fantastic they are, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that I haven't got round to getting any of the cans. But once we decided that we were going to go down there, I thought it's better to just save it until we've actually been to the tap room and we've had something on the draft. So I feel like that's probably the best experience I can get.
Yeah,
and then obviously, if I really like it, which I'm guessing I will do, I'll pick up some cans, and then obviously I can bring them home and I can do some reviews on that then and stuff like that. But we're still gonna, even while we're down there, we're gonna do Instagram stories and posts and whatnot. We're not gonna leave that. We're definitely gonna stay on that or whatever. But I'm just really looking forward to it. And with you mentioning about oats as well, that's something that's really interesting about like craft beer. The last, I don't know, say like 5 or 6 years, like Polly's are very notorious for using oats as well. And I just feel like, you know, like the cloudy, hazy IPA, it's become such a phenomenon over the last like 10 years or so. You never heard of it. 15, 20, 30 years ago. It was all best bitter, mild, you know, all your traditional English IPAs and stuff like that. And this emergence of like, you know, stuff like this, like hazy and all these fruit and punchy hops and stuff like that. I'm just so thankful that whoever, because everybody knows that the craft beer scene really took off in America. Like you've got Idaho 7, Citra, they're all from America. Like we have to bow down that they were the ones to like sort of bring these hops to prominence. But all these great English brewers that we have, like they've just embraced all these techniques and they're just really bringing it to the surface. And I'm just so grateful that we've got all these amazing breweries in this country because, you know, all it takes is one and then other people follow. And I think we're really lucky to have such a great selection of beers because it caters for everybody. There's still your core breweries, you know, from like you've got like Proper Job, you know, like your proper English IPAs and stuff like that,
Okay.
like your Thornbridge and stuff like that. It's just there's a market for everybody, but I'm just so grateful that we've got all these different types of beer because it just really illuminates the craft beer industry in this country.
Absolutely. I mean, I put beer the same as songwriting. It's like there's only so much ingredients that you can put into a
Yeah,
beer. And when we talk about brewing a beer, we always talk about, oh, they've done this in the brewing process, or they've put the hops in the early edition to get the alpha acids and get the bitterness with the West Coast or anything like that. And we
yeah,
all talk like we know how to brew and all that. Whereas, but like it's just a principle of like learning a basic sort of like knowledge of how beers you know, if you get a West Coast IPA, you know that they've like got the alpha acids from the hops and they've put it in the boil and they've got like loads of that, like the bitterness out of, you know, they've used it in the
yeah,
bittering. So you're not getting any flavors out of the hops, you're just getting all that. And the certain hops give you more alpha acids than others and things like that. But to actually go, okay, it's Speno, Kial, right, brew me a beer, like, no, not a clue, not a clue. You know, it's like songwriting. There's only so much ingredients that you can put into beer, but there's thousands of beers. You know, there's only fundamentally five chords or six chords in songwriting,
yeah,
but look at how many songs are out there, and apparently no two songs are supposed to be the same, otherwise people are suing each other. So I look upon beer as the same as songwriting. There's
yeah,
thousands and millions of songs, but there's only so many chords, and there's thousands of beers, but there's only so much ingredients. And this is why I do love, I mean, I'm an old school beer drinker. I like that hand pulled beer that's crystal
yeah,
clear, that's got no, you know, cloudiness to it or anything else. But then I've evolved. I'm a party animal. I'm a modern day boy. I'm one of these. I work with young lads, and they always say to me, "Crikey, there's more life in you than some of the young
yeah.
ones that I know." You know, I,
You're a
I'm down,
chameleon.
yeah, I'm down with the kids type of thing. I'm a bloody idiot, and so I'm really into the craft beer, the hazy beers. I love like the unfiltered, unfined beers. I love the wheat beers. I like to pour wheat beers differently. So if you get a wheat beer and if you let it settle overnight and you pour it really, really gently, you can almost get a clear beer. Then swirl the last
Yeah,
bit and dump it in, and you get all that
okay.
lava thing. Whereas a wheat beer really is supposed to be poured quite hard to get it all in straight away, and then swirl the last
Yeah,
bit. But it's just beer is just amazing, and like yeah. So now when I have a clear beer, so I had a Budvar the other night, and
yeah,
that is absolutely crystal clear. That beer is phenomenal, and it's crystal clear. And when you look at it, it's almost like, wow, I've not had a clear beer for a good for a
yeah.
long
You're
while.
right. You're absolutely right.
You know,
You
it's
just get
absolutely
used to it. You get, especially for me, I haven't had, apart from, there's one that I haven't reviewed yet, but this Full Circle Brew, they sent me a Kolsch style lager, so it's Kolsch,
yeah.
and it was I don't know the history behind that style of beer or whatever, but it
I'm
was like
still
a
learning that.
traditional
Yeah,
lager, but it had like a citrusy taste to it, and I really enjoyed it. I just every single sip, I was like, there's just so much like citrus fruits coming through it, but it was a traditional lager as well, and I just really enjoyed it. But I know what you're saying about the hazy. Like I'm all
yeah,
about the hazy beers and everything. That is my forte. And if I have
yeah,
to choose between an IPA, a lager, or a pale ale, I think I'm more towards like a pale ale type person, especially after the stuff that Polly brings out. Like I know I might be a little bit biased, and I do give Verdant the dues and all of the beers that I've reviewed, but every time I've tried a Polly's, it's just so dynamic in what they do. And
Yeah.
like I say, I am a tiny bit biased, but I'm open to trying anything. It's just the stouts I have to sort of like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've just never really got on with stouts. I've
But
just
it's
never.
like me. I love stouts, and then I love everything that goes onwards until they hit the sours, and I'm like, oh, I
Yes.
just can't.
Yeah.
I can't get it. So
No.
if you say you can't get on with stouts, it's not because there ain't no amazing stouts out there. It's just because it's
No.
just
No. Definitely not.
not your thing. And this is
No.
the thing. Beer is so subjective. I mean, Dave Hardy from the Hardy Arms, like he's on this mad Guinness
Oh, I've
craze.
seen that he went to Vault City, didn't he, and tried all these sours.
And yeah, I mean, this amazes me because he's a big sour fan. He loves
Yeah.
sours and crazy sours and everything. And then he's discovered Guinness, and he's almost become this sort of Guinness robot that like he absolutely loves Guinness, and it's become quite a funny thing on the podcast. So yeah, just because like he wasn't into stouts, he's found Guinness, and then all of a sudden he's thought, oh, do you know what? I actually do like stouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
the sour that I had the other day from Thornbridge, and I am going to actually review it on the channel because I think it needs. I feel I need to do it because I just feel it's unfair to talk about Thornbridge. I've been on a bit of a Thornbridge trip. I really do. Like they're so interactive. Every time I message them, they're straight back to me. They're really, really great. Same with Hackney Church. Hackney Church have says to me, "I'm looking forward to your review of our Agadudu." Like they just messaged me, told me the beer's available, and they said they're looking forward to the review. I mean, that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
but
Amazing.
yeah, so the Thornbridge sour, it says at the bottom to have with dark chocolate. Now, I
Right.
really like a very nice high percentage cocoa sort of dark chocolate, that's not
Yeah.
got any of the sugars in it, the real bitter chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm actually going to have that sour and I'm going to have some dark chocolate and I'm going
Oh,
to
that sounds amazing.
see how it pairs because the sourness of the drink, it wasn't unpleasant and it wasn't like, it was nice to drink, but it just, for me, there's this stigma like it's not beer because I couldn't
Yeah.
get
Yeah. Yeah.
any malts from it. I couldn't really get any hops. It was just fruit. I might as well
Yeah.
have had
Yeah.
a glass of orange or a glass of Ribena or whatever. But I understand the craft. And I think, yeah, what Craig was telling me, whereas a normally brewed beer is very contained and like you make sure there's no bacteria get in it and it's all very clean and that, they literally take the lid off and just let everything just,
Yeah.
all the organisms get in there and create basically good bacteria, really. Sours are supposed to
Yeah.
be very
Basically. Yeah.
good. Do you like sours?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of sours. I've tried. Polly's did one, which was they did like a Valentine's Day gift set, which my fiance kindly bought me. I think altogether I've had three sours. I've had a Vault City. I think it was like a strawberry sundae, and again, I'm going to echo what you said. I appreciate the craft, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
And then Polly's, I've had two Polly sours. I can't remember one of them. I think one of them was like blackcurrant, lime, and sea salt. And again, it's not
yeah.
my thing. But again, I appreciate what it takes to make one. But like you say, it's subjective, and it's not something that I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, 2024, I feel has been like a real spread with beer
Oh yeah,
styles for women as well, because
yeah.
like Janie, she got massively into stouts. She had the Black Forest, was it Northern Monks Black Forest Gatto stout?
Black
Is it?
Forest Gatto. Yep, yep.
And she was like, "Whoa, this is really lovely." So then I got a couple of proper craft stouts as well, and she loved it. And then the next thing, she's on Dexter and Jones, massive delivery. She spent over 100 quid or whatever on stouts, and she always complains at me that I'm spending too much money on beer. You got plenty of beer. Both fridges are full. And I call that the cellar over there. Under there, it's like a caravan
Yeah.
seat almost, and it's full of beer. It's quite cool. And you don't need no more. But she's only joking. It's only a bit of banter.
Yeah, of
Next thing I
course.
know, oh, I swear, and this delivery of beer, and I'm like, honestly, I ain't delivered. I ain't ordered no beer. I promise you, I ain't ordered.
I haven't bought any more beer.
No, it's me. It's me. And she bought all these like 12, 13% stouts. And she's loved the. I mean, she's been ill for the last 2 weeks, bless her. So she's not even had a drop of beer. But like some of the stouts she got, and the Cloudwater, I can't think what it was. MCI, I think I can't think what it's called at the minute. But she loved that. But then on the flip side, there's a lot of other women that are loving the sours. So I think 2024 has been the women's year for stouts and sours. And I love that because women are getting into all the beers and the craft beers. And
definitely.
instead of, so as blokes, we could have a beer with a lady. It's wicked, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because traditionally, like obviously, you associate beer with males, don't you? Obviously, but I just feel like this craft beer scene, it's really like opened up to all genders. You know what I mean? Like you can go out with your wife or your partner or whoever it is, and you can both enjoy a craft beer. Like when I go out with my fiance, she'll try a pale ale or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like there's a lot more variety now, and it just opens it up to everybody. Because I feel like maybe 10, 15 years ago, it was just, oh, I'll have a lager shandy or I'll have a snake bite or a strongbow. Do you know what I mean? And the market was very narrow. Whereas you think now craft beer is probably at the best point it's ever been in its existence. The amount of hops that we've got, all these experimental hops, all these breweries that are up and about now. Like I'm just so glad that there's so many breweries about because there's so much variety. And although they are competing, it's almost like everybody's happy to share space because if you know yourself, Polly's have done collaborations with Cloudwater, Verdant have done collaborations with Beak, Cloudwater, and Track. Everybody just seems like they're all happy to share the same space and everybody just wants to collaborate with each other. And I think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think like because we was in St Ives and we went to the St Ives brewery, and they spoke to us about Beer 52, and they actually do like a cuckoo brewing. So a lot of there's sort of like young brewers that are brewing in the garage, like what Polly's were, and they've not got the facility. They've got a big idea, but they've not got the facility to brew. So then they call on like a big brewer to brew the beer, and it's like this cuckoo brewing. I can't really remember a lot about it, but cuckoos apparently don't they go and steal eggs and do whatever they
I think so.
You know, they get rid of the mum or whatever, and then they raise the eggs, type of thing. Something to do. So basically, St Ives Brewery were brewing quite a few beers for the Beer 52 range from these little tiny microbreweries. Didn't have the facilities. And then they told me on the tour, because when I went on the tour, I went, look, I've got a YouTube channel. I'd love to do a little chat with you about it. And they were happy to do it. And they said that them and another brewery, they all talk to each other and they all have ideas and they all sort of like support each other. And I think the breweries around the UK are a bit like this Instagram beer loving community.
Definitely.
They're all
100%.
there for each other. And that's why we're seeing so many collabs because, why not? Why not? And I think that's fantastic because it's just supporting each other and keeping the breweries alive because that's what we want. Because without the beer, it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah. We're stuck with Carlin or Foster's or whatever, and we don't want that.
I mean, to be honest with you, when you got something like Carlin and all your Carlin drinkers that are out there, because it's not just us two chatting, we are chatting to whoever's watching.
No offense.
Three people or whatever. But Carlin is force carbonated, force brewed, it's fastly brewed, and it's not really a lager because a lager takes time. That's the whole meaning of the word lager. Lager is long.
Lagering is a process.
Yeah, it's a process. And this is why Braybrook Brewery do like they're so phenomenal because they only brew lager. And to brew lager, you need so much space because they're lagering their beer for 6 or 7 weeks, so it's just sat there doing what it's doing. It's not fast tracked, and you know, whereas like the macro beers are they're just fizzed up like a soda stream, and yeah, people love it, and that's fair enough. But when you, my mate who I work with every day, I've worked with him since I was 18. He is a proper traditional real ale drinker, and you will not get him onto lager at all, because lager to him is Carlin, Foster, Stella, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And but when you talk about, I mean, this essentially is a lager. You know, you talk about dark lagers and you know, proper brewed lagers.
Yeah.
Oh, blows your mind. Blows your mind.
Yeah,
It does.
definitely.
I
Well,
love lager.
obviously, I wasn't aware of. I wasn't quite aware of the process for all your mainstream brewers. You know, like you say, Stella, Carlin, and all that sort of stuff. Like when you first become an adult and you're allowed to drink a pint, you think it's like, oh god, this is amazing, it's beer or whatever. But once you actually do like a brewery tour, and when especially when I was at Hawkston, they explained that obviously, like I say, your mainstream brewers, on average, they can turn around the beer in about 9 days, which is to a layman person, it's like, wow, that's pretty quick. That's quite amazing. But when you actually understand what it takes, and to use an example, when Hawkson brew their beer, it takes like up to 6 weeks for them to do a batch of something. And once you understand the process from start to finish, the malt, the barley, the hops, the yeast, and the water and stuff like that, it's not something that you can rush, because they don't want a below par product. And when you taste the difference between like a Foster's or a Carlin, and you have like a real craft lager, the difference is miles apart, because the amount of time it takes for the lagering process compared to your big breweries and stuff like that who just churn it out in 9 days, it's night and day. It's like chalk and cheese. It's just the comparison. It's not even fair how the difference between the two different products.
Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, you've only got to have, say, Budvar, for instance, and people could drink that and sort of go, oh, well, I don't know, but they're not really getting into the beer or appreciating the beer how it should be appreciated. But like Utopian as well, they are doing sort of like Bavarian style or Czech style beer. They're doing all these different types of beers brewed in that proper way. They're doing that double decoction mashing, and they're doing everything they can to emulate like a proper, like say, German or Czech style beer. And they're doing things like lagering for ages. And the only one thing I will say, and I was blown away by Thornbridge's Hef wheat beer they did, is the one thing I will say, the only thing we've not got here in the UK is the water. So a lot of the German breweries, they're drilling down and they're using the natural spring water. And we can flatline water now. So, I mean, like I say, this is talking as if like I know what I'm talking about, but it's only what I've researched and watched and
of course.
But we can sort of get our water here in the UK, and we can flatline it, and we can pH it or do whatever we do to make it to that type of style. But there's nothing like that pure, fresh, rock filtered, mineral filtered water that you get from deep below the ground. And I think if I've come down here, I always used to say, if I used to go, there's a pub in Leicester, I'm not going to quote it because I don't want to slag it off, but I used to go there to a music venue in Leicester, and I just know, even though they had top quality craft beer, well, they had Adnams Broadside on, which is a great beer. I'd drink that all night, and the next day I'd have this chemical headache. You know what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, God, what is that? And I think it's just because it's just so CO2, so forced carbonated, so crazily had it. Whereas I've been down here and I've drank German beer all night, and I've woke up the next morning fresh as a daisy. And do you know what? My wee's been clear.
Speaking of wee, do you mind if I just nip to the toilet?
No, because I need one as well. Hey, right. So since you've been gone, I've dropped this out of the fridge.
Oh, is that the magazine cover?
Yeah. So, I just can't help myself. I go on Daya's website. I like one of them.
I did the same thing today, but I had to hold off.
Because every time you go on their website, there's different beers. It's like I'll go on Daya's website thinking, oh, do you know what? And I'm sure hidden in one of my fridges, I've got the super glue, so I'm going to look for it to have that as the last beer. And I did think to myself, we'll do this for about an hour, but like we're over 2 hours now, and we'll edit it.
Yeah.
Will be edited down. But like, I think this is a video that, like, especially all the pub shed community is going to really enjoy, because there's been some fantastic content in here. I think like some of the stuff that you've talked about, more, you know, like not so much from me, but from you, some of the historical stuff and the interesting stuff about the breweries has been fantastic. And but they are just absolutely brilliant. And this has got the Ideo 7 in with the hop, which I absolutely love. So like crisp yet soft hoppy session ale with Ideo 7, Simcoe, Citro, and Mosaic hops. Wow. Now I've got this little glass. I'm actually crapping myself now, because this has been hanging upside down up there for weeks. So this could have like a bubbly finish to it, and then this will completely and utterly kick me in the balls. So
oh, that looks amazing.
Oh, it's not looking too bad. Oh,
I can't wait to try the Daya stuff. I've been so looking forward to it.
Oh,
wow.
Do you know what?
On that.
It's, I'm glad. Oh no, there's a couple of bubbles around the back. I'll just bang it before.
Just give it a quick tap.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. Look. Do you know what, right? Oh, so I thought, I've got to grab a craft beer out. You know, so that is like your beer you had earlier on. It's sort of quite like almost like a diluted orange. That is, isn't it?
But, yeah. That looks amazing.
I'm so
excited.
I can smell the Ideo 7 straight away. That's almost like I'm that confident about that, the smell of that hop, that I think you could blind test. You could put that under my nose.
Yeah.
If I had 10 beers and one of them contained Ideo 7, I used to call it AD, whatever. I couldn't pronounce it, but then someone said, because it's an actual place in America, isn't it? Ideo, I think.
Idaho.
Idaho, not Ideo. Why am I saying Ideo? Bloody hell. Yeah, Idaho. And yeah, you can just smell it. Cheers.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What you got? You still
nursing this the full circle.
Looks fairly similar. Yours is a bit darker, I think.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, that's amazing.
You know what? That's almost got like an orange juice to it. After now that I've like let it go down, the Sultana, it's almost like an orange peel or something like that.
Oh wow! And this is the thing.
That's what I was going to say. The awesome thing about Daya is they do 500 ml cans.
Yes, they do, don't they? Yeah. Yes.
Everybody else does like 440 or 330, and that's the thing that I couldn't get on board with the Beer 52. It's just 330 ml cans. It's not enough. Yeah. You can't put it in a pint glass. It doesn't fill a 2/3.
No. Yeah, that's a 500 milliliter can, like you say.
Yeah, every single can that Daya do 500 ml. I think that's amazing.
And Andy Dunn was saying today on the radio station that like with a 500 milliliter can and a pint glass, you can pretty much dump it in and it will fill your pint.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm
sorry. I really hope you can buy cans from the tap room, because I'm going to buy some.
But you know what's going to happen? You're going to get there at that tap room and you're going to say, like, I was chatting to Speno like for 3 hours. And we were drinking.
You got magazine cover?
No.
We're all sold out.
I mean, wow.
I just want to say though, I know we've already spoke about it or whatever, but obviously, like, and I genuinely mean this. I really appreciate that you reached out in the way
Oh,
that you did, and I appreciate that you're doing this. And I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you, and I hope that one day we get to actually meet in person because that
yeah,
would be absolutely phenomenal. And I would love to have a beer with you in person. But I just think you're a really genuine guy, kind person, very very genuine and positive, and like, if you know me, you know that I'm a very open and honest person. I like to tell people how I feel. But yeah, I just want you to know you're a proper sound guy, and I really appreciate all your advice. And I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you, mate. And I'm so glad that we've done this.
yeah, absolutely. And I echo that exactly, and not like I echoed it earlier on with all this echoing. I mean, because when you think about it, how old are you? Did you say 32? Did you say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you're 32. I'm 54. It's like, we're 20 years apart, but
yeah,
I just feel that like I just feel like I'm still young at heart, and I wear glasses, and I've got a few wrinkles and things, but I still feel like I'm sort of like got full of energy and everything else, and I
yeah,
really love interacting with kind and lovely and just proper, genuine souls like yourself. So yeah, so
yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
pleased. I'm really
Cheers
pleased.
to that, mate.
Cheers, mate. I'm really pleased that I reached out to you, and because I think from one kind person to another kind person, you understand why that reach out was done.
Yeah,
It's not about being critical or anything like that. It's just about spreading. I remember, and I think I even told you about this. I had a young, well, he was a YTS lad when that used to be about, because I was a YTS lad. And we used to, whenever we did a doorway through, so the brickie wants to knock a doorway through and
yeah,
knock it all out, and then we'd have to cut the skirting back. And I'd be there with my saw before you had these multi tools that just go.
yeah,
So I'm there with my hands like my tenon saw, and the young lad, and he was only, I'm sure he was only 15. I think he might have been a school, might have been a placement from a school. He
yeah,
says to me, I've had an idea. He said, if you put a drill bit in your drill and drill a series of holes all the way down the skirting and then all the way through, then you could like just chisel down. And I thought, what a great idea. I didn't sort of go like, you're the apprentice or you're the whatever. You don't know nothing. I was like,
yeah,
wow, because we used to try and chop it, but then you split the back of the skirting off. So I drilled this
yeah.
series of holes down, and then you could just get a sharp chisel and just chop, 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 chop. And I used that method for years. I really did use
Hmm.
that method for years before we got the multi tools that just could.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So yeah, so there's an affirmation that's at the school I'm working at, and it says nobody's perfect. That's why we have a rate like we're like pencils, and that's why we have erasers, because no one's perfect. You can a pencil can draw, but then it can be erased out.
yeah,
We're all learning all the time, and
yeah.
and I like the fact that we're getting slightly oiled now as well. It's quite. So if you're at this stage of the video now watching this and you've hung out with us for a bit, there's two things happening here. You've either not had the fantastic news about Kyle's news, or you have had the fantastic news about Kyle's news. But if you haven't had the news, it will come soon. So you will be quite excited
Yeah,
about that. And if it
yeah,
happens, I will bring it back to the channel
yeah,
to update you with that. But he will also put it on his Instagram and things like that.
yeah,
But I'm hoping that the news is confirmed that we can keep it on this stream, because that would
yeah.
be.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
when do you find out about it?
Well,
Don't
basically,
tell it
if this
now,
can,
because this bit is the mystery part. So when do you find out
yeah.
about the news?
Um, Basically, I had an interview on Tuesday, and it was like the best interview experience that I've ever had. So basically, I had a basic. It was essentially a brewery tour first, and I met every single person that worked there. So basically, so they've got a web store. then there's like all these different places where they store the beer.
Start again. So it wasn't a brewery tour; it was a tour, because that's just revealed it's a brewery.
It's a tour.
But put this in the
Yeah, so it was a tour. It was a tour,
yeah.
and everybody was so something that I found very refreshing, because I've never seen anybody else. Everybody was so enthusiastic about the work. Like, let's not get it confused. Like, work is work, but everybody there seems so happy. I don't even want to say content. I want to say like enthusiastic about the work that they was doing. And the philosophy of the person who runs the brewery was just like nothing that I've ever came across before. And it just appealed to me so much. It was an environment that I felt like I wanted to work in. And I don't know about anybody else, but have you ever heard of value-based questions before when doing an interview? No.
No.
So generally, how an interview goes is, what do you know about the company? What have you done before? Why do you want to work for this sort of place? It's very generic questions, and it's something that you rehearsed before. Value-based questions are, what do you describe as like what attributes to like making relationships? Tell me a time of when you've come across something that you had to overcome and stuff like that. It's basically trying to get personality and values out of somebody by asking a question. I didn't prepare for that because I wasn't expecting that, and I just answered them honestly from the heart on the spot. And obviously, I've done a good job because they've offered me the job. But it was such a crazy experience, because obviously I've never worked in a place where I'm going to work before, and the philosophy that they have, like everybody helps each other. Um, Obviously they want to make the best product they can, and I was just blown away by like the approach that they have to how they work. And I know I've said it before, but I'm just proper excited. I can't wait. So it is official. It is definitely official. I just have to figure out with where I'm working now when I can leave, and I think it's going to be like next week is going to be my last week at where I work now. So all being well, the week after will be when I start.
That's so amazing. And you're hopefully going to get the job of your dreams. And you're going to be waking up in the morning looking forward to going work. You're going to be coming home looking forward to getting home. And you're not going to be earning as much money as you are now. But my God, you're going to have a massive smile on your face. And you know what? That's what it's all about, mate. That's what it's all about. Makes me feel emotional just saying that. You know,
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree
there
more.
it is. Live, laugh, love. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Live your life to the full. Laugh.
Here's one as well.
What's that say?
The world is yours.
Boom. Brilliant. The affirmations, mate. It's fantastic.
Yours. Yeah.
Like, the world is yours. You've just got to choose how you live in that world. I love tattoos. I wanted a tattoo all my life, and I just never had the encouragement. And when I met Janie, I'm just pointed up to the house. When I met Janie, I went, I've always wanted a tattoo. She went, well, have a tattoo then. I'm like, oh my God. So I had my guitar put on my arm. I had my grandson's name on there. I had all the lyrics to my songs. What's that? Oh, guitar. Do you play guitar?
Gibson Les Paul.
Oh, is it? Do you play guitar?
I do, but I haven't played for a long time, and I'm very, I'll be very, very rusty. But the first tattoo that I got, I don't know if you can see it. My very first tattoo, I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and that's what I got tattooed. I don't know if you can see it. So my first tattoo was "Music is lyrics, music is life." That's the very first tattoo that I ever got.
Wow. And music is life, and do you know what? I tell you how important music is. If someone says to me, you've got two choices. You can drink beer forever, but music dies, or you can listen to music forever and beer dies. I'd choose music over beer. I would. I would.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. That's a very difficult one.
I know. Think about that one. That is really difficult, isn't it? Hey, look.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, we're off the same.
This one's ceased to exist now. It's gone now.
Oh, you've had that beer for a long time, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really interested on that beer.
The more it's gone down, the more it tastes like orange juice, and I'm a big fan of that.
And
Definitely a
yet
big
that
fan of that.
started off as Sultana, didn't it?
Yeah, full circle.
That is
It's
a
almost
proper
got like a bit of a peppery throat kick as well, which is interesting.
Oh, wow, wow. Mm, that sounds really interesting. So you're going to have your fourth one?
Yes. Last
Yeah.
one is Every Piece Matters. IPA Citron Mosaic 6.7%.
Right.
Shout out to Polly's as well. Can't forget to
I'm going to have a look in the
mention
fridge. I'm going to have a look in the fridge, see if I've got Polly's. I might have. I might have. Let's see.
When you buy them, where do you usually get them from? Do you get them straight from Polly's or do you get them from somewhere else?
Well, I normally go to Harbour stores in Market Harbour, and they stock a lot of Polly's. No, I've not. I bet there is one hiding in there, but I can't find it. But what I have got is another Daya.
Oh,
now,
nice.
now, this one is a funny one, right? So
Tiny
I don't,
shorts.
yeah. Now I don't think you'll get this again. Now I'm going to be a really bad boy, and I'm going to use the same glass again.
Well,
God,
I'm gonna have to as well. So
I feel a bit tipsy actually. Now this, and I'm going to go on. I've got to go on the website, and I promised I would. So Daya Brewery and a bottle shop ran the marathon this year, and they did
oh
this
yeah.
beer. Yeah, so they did this beer as a post beer. So basically, when you cross the line in the marathon, you get this one down, yeah. And so there's no profit from this beer going to the cause, but it's for a cause for children that are basically like
Yeah.
sat in home just on PlayStations all day and trying to get the children out and teach them some life skills. So they brewed this beer, and there's I think it's Sam and Simon. I can't think. I've done the review, so check out the review of this beer. Just go and search
Yeah.
for it and check it out. So like a light-bodied citrusy beer engineered for precise post-run refreshments, and it has a QR code for the donation page, but it's for a foundation. Daya and here we go. Epicurean Bottle Shop in Manchester are
Right.
lacing up their trainers and heading to the London Marathon. We'll be raising money for the Outward Bound Trust. So one of the guys at Daya and one of the guys at that bottle shop went and ran the marathon and brewed this beer to drink when they crossed the line, basically.
That's awesome.
For the Outward Bound Trust, which helps children to gain life skills and just give the kids a hand to get out from behind the TV screen, really, because they spend so much time on the TV screen, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
get them out there like what I used to do as a 70s kid, 70s, 80s kid, and
Mhm.
go play, you know. It's like, but this is quite lightweight,
That's an
mate.
awesome cause. That's an awesome
Yeah,
cause.
it's brilliant. So when I did the review on this, I promised I'd donate, and I've not donated yet, but I will do. I definitely will. I definitely will, because it's a brilliant cause, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
And a cool
100%.
day with their
100%.
artwork on there. Look at that, like the old crocodile running and
That's an
snapping it.
awesome can.
It's
Such a
brilliant.
brilliant cause.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Cheers, mate.
Look, they look the same colour. They do. Oh, I'm a little bit disappointed I ain't got a Polly's beer. I'm sure there's one in there. I'm sure there is. I bet when we finish
Ooh,
this. What we got?
that's very like dank and resin.
Oh,
Now that's not usually my strong point, but it is really nice. I very much like fruity, um Yeah, like proper fruity styles.
Like,
Like, that's why this one's so nice to me. It's I don't understand how they like you know that hops are related to like cannabis and stuff like that.
yeah.
So that's why a lot of the times we did a review on a polish called Broken Poke, and it smelled a lot like cannabis, obviously.
Mm.
Um, but it's just insane to me how these different types of hops have such different flavor profiles, and when you mix them all together for specific amounts of times and in specific volumes, it's just unbelievable how they can get these different types of flavors from it. It's absolutely witchcraft.
Yeah, it really is. It's a science, isn't it? It's like something like the
Yeah,
dot Back
100%.
to the Future does, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely.
It really, because when we went to the Radio 2 party in the park, there was I can't think what brewery was there, but they had a hop arch, and I was
Oh,
expecting to go up to that arch and it'd be like fake hops, but it was real hops.
real hops.
Yeah,
Wow.
and like I pulled a few off and I rubbed them in my hand, and they were like oily and whatever, and I smelled something like, oh my god, it was like just really pure, that pure hop smell,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's actually stuck with me. So when I drink a beer now, I can sort of tell with a beer whether the flavor profile is coming from a natural hop or from an additive.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah, of
I,
course.
it's like when I see beer reviewers talk about all the different flavors in beers, I used to really struggle with the piney flavor in West Coast
Yeah,
IPAs. And I thought, I can feel what it's giving me and I know what it's giving me. But when they're talking about pine, I'm thinking about going through like a forest, like, the pine forest and that. And
yeah.
I went to the garden centre sniffing Christmas trees. I honestly did. And, like, and I was trying to think about what I should be getting. And once I got that pine sort of like
Yeah,
nose, I get it every time. And
yeah,
then
thousand percent.
what was the other thing I couldn't get? So like things like mango. Mango is not a very strong fruit. It's not a
Yeah, it's
massive.
very subtle.
Yeah. So me and Janie, when we go shopping, I've literally bought every fruit possible. And I bought a mango, big mango, chopped it up. I've sucked it, chewed it, tasted it, whatever, eyes closed, analyzed it. So when I get mango in a beer, I can recognize it now. So I've
Yeah,
literally
definitely.
I've got the real fruit and I've ate the real fruit to try and. But I think some of the best quality beers or when you can't pick out them individual fruits, when they're all
Yes,
blended
yes.
together so well that you just have to put your hands up and say,
Same.
it's a, it's a tropical beer.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it's all in there. It's brilliant.
definitely.
Well, considering how this started tonight,
Tonight.
me, with me being stressed out like you wouldn't believe, nobody out there realizes how stressed out I was at the start of this video. I, I bought a new phone. I wasn't signed into Google. I wasn't signed into StreamYard. Everything was going wrong. We started off recording. It was echoing like mad, weren't it?
Yeah,
Uh, like Kyle was thinking, who is this clown who's interviewing me and chatting to me? And then
definitely
it's
not. Definitely not.
been an absolute brilliant chat that
Yeah,
I expected to be
I
an hour.
agree.
And we're now at 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah,
Do you know what we need to do? We need to get me, you, Jono, Craig Johnson, and we need to have like a little lads' weekend out, and
definitely.
we'll drive over to somewhere near Wales, and we can meet, stop in a hotel,
Yeah,
obviously in separate rooms because that would be a bit like strange.
yeah.
I don't mind stopping in the same room as Craig because we're like proper lovers, and
Yeah, yeah.
and we can pick a place that has some great breweries and great like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just have a bit of a lads' day out.
100%.
Yeah, and
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
document it, and Yeah, I'd love that.
Definitely.
I'd love that.
Yeah, we'll work towards that because that's something that I'm definitely interested in, and I hope that we can make that a reality one day. Make that a
Yeah,
reality because that would be amazing.
yeah, absolutely. So, what do you reckon? Shall we call it then tonight?
Yep, yep, definitely, definitely.
Kyle, honestly, mate, considering how this started off, I didn't think it would be as phenomenal as it is. There's been some brilliant content here. You know your stuff. You've educated me tonight, and I've got this little glass out. What are these called again? I forgot.
Taku.
Yeah, yeah. Two breweries coming together to make these glasses, so you
Yeah,
can smell it.
Brewers. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and look at the lacing. We're talking about beer clean glasses, and I feel
Yep.
fairly drunk, to be honest with you. I'm knackered.
Yeah, I
So
think
I'm
I'm ready for bed, to be honest.
having a tattoo done tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that. It's really nice having a tattoo done, isn't it? It's like it just feels nice, doesn't it? It's like a really nice pain, isn't it? It's really good.
Well, it definitely is a pain. I don't know. I've got a full.
Oh wow, that's
Do you know what
amazing.
that is?
It looks like a snake.
Yeah, it is a snake. Do you kn I very much so when I was in a band, I was in like a heavy metal band,
Oh really?
and my favorite band has always been Metallica.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this snake is off the Black album.
Oh
That's
god.
so their album was literally like the album cover was just black, and then there's like a little silhouette of a snake, and that's a snake off
Oh
the Black
wicked,
album. And
wicked.
then there's just like little bits and bobs. Like I really like skulls, so I've got skulls,
Yeah,
and then that's like a skull with a shroud on it. Just like, and then I know it's very common, but I always wanted a spider web on my elbow, so I got a
yeah, yeah.
spider web on my
That
elbow.
is quite popular, isn't it? The spider web on the elbow.
Yeah, but I didn't want one that was like symmetrical because spider webs are never symmetrical. They're always like just all over the place, so it's a bit all over the place. But yeah.
Have you ever, when we said we're going to go, but then now we're talking, have you ever watched a spider form a web?
Like not a full one, but I've seen one like do bits and bobs. Yeah.
Years ago, when I
Years
lived in
ago.
a terraced house, and I went outside, I could see this spider moving about, but I couldn't see where he was moving. It was like in fresh air. So I
Yeah.
like stopped, focused in, and I watched him going from one bit to the other, and I watched him for about 20 minutes or so
Yeah.
forming web, and I was like, that is
Yeah. It's
absolutely
amazing. Yeah.
incredible. You know what I mean? What a
Yeah.
fantastic creature
100%.
they are. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I will never kill a spider because they get rid of the flies and they're such brilliant creatures. They're unbelievable. I don't like them crawling over me. That freaks me
No,
out.
no, no.
And to be honest with you, when you have a pub shed like this, you get lots of spiders because they
Oh
find
yeah,
all
I
the
can imagine.
crannies and they make their little nests and oh, you bleeder. But yeah, wicked. Anyway, Carl, mate, honestly, you are a brother from another mother, and I'm
Thank you
so glad
very much.
I met you. And I'm looking forward to meeting Ryan as well. And
Yeah,
I'll speak to
definitely.
Craig. I'll speak to Craig next, Crafty Craig next Friday, and we'll
Yeah,
arrange sometime in the future for us four to go out
yeah.
somewhere and get drunk and have craft beer. Cheers, my
Sounds
friend.
good to me. Thank you very much.
What a
Thanks,
legend.
thanks, Benno.
Follow the Beer Bros, everybody. Literally, check them out on Instagram because, like,
Follow Spencer Arms.
they are
You gotta follow
absolutely
Spence.
what a fantastic couple of guys they are. And this has been 2 hours and 43 minutes, edited down to 2 hours and 40 minutes. Cheers, everybody. Kyle, take care, my friend. Much love.
Thank you very much.
Right.
All the
I'm gonna
best, mate. Thank you.
take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Yeah, love you, man. Take care.
You too, mate. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.